Test. Test, test. All right, welcome everybody. We'll kick off at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Hola. What's up, man?
What do you want here?
Full house for Mother's Day, it looks.
Oh my God, that's right.
Nobody's struggling. Let's see. Entire screen.
That's right, Mother's Day.
Yeah, we normally don't have it.
Really?
Yeah, but the end of this month there's a holiday. And then next week, we meet at Mundo Amazon. So I was like, you know what, let's just get it in.
Well, that was always that.
It's somebody who actually got their start in this group a long time ago on the Spanish community.
Okay.
Really got good at wholesale.
All right.
And his course or all that is called Mundo Amazon.
Yeah.
And he's having an annual event
Really?
called Mundo Amazon, and at the I like the arena.
At the arena?
Or no, like what is it,
Jackie Gleason?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he pulled that
Oh
off.
my God.
Right?
That guy, wow.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's like a small room that you can get that's part of the overall.
Oh yeah, that's like 5,000 people or something.
See.
Mundo Amazon, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, man, I can't fill that place.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Does he runs any ads? For the,
I think he does.
yeah, he has.
I don't do ads, so.
Yeah. Oh my God. Mundo Amazon.
I'll put this here. I have the starting at 110. Give some. How you been?
Good. Yeah. You buy your Mother's Day gift, yeah. From here. I'm going to Best Buy to buy Mother's Day gift.
Oh yeah, no, that's what that is on the table.
Oh, that's really.
I'm not mentioning what it is in case she's listening to the stream, but yeah, I
You
took
don't
care of
think
it.
so?
I botched our 10-year anniversary present, so
Oh, really?
didn't even get. I don't know.
You forgot?
No, I didn't forget. We planned something, and then I think we were in this thing of like several years where we weren't doing gifts,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know. I think I'm supposed to have like
Yeah.
acknowledged that even though we were kind of doing that, 10
Yeah.
years is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't good. Wasn't
Yeah, it
good.
wasn't good for you, right?
It's not good for me.
I told you, I can't believe. No, I could imagine.
Oh no! She was
You know, what you want? I don't know, whatever. And then.
no. It was epic. So now it's got Mother's Day and then her birthday next week. So it's like, okay,
Wow.
I need to nail these.
What date?
I think like the 18th.
Oh, my wife's is 21st.
Yeah.
Same thing. Mother's Day, 21st is her birthday.
So Friday, I'm taking her to see. I don't know if you've ever watched Carbonaro Effect.
No.
This TV show. This guy's like this like magician, like comedy magician.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in town, so we got like front row seats to see that.
Wow.
We both used to watch it, I think, back when we used to have time to watch TV.
Yeah.
So
You ever do that experience of the Cuban experience? It's like a play, but you're inside the play.
no, I haven't.
You haven't seen that? My brother did that.
I thought you were talking about Cuba nostalgia that happens
Nostalgia, yeah. Like you're in. It's like a play, but you're inside of Cuba, and it was from the 50s and the 30s, and right before the revolution and stuff like that.
here. Is that at Tamiami Park?
I think it was in downtown. It was like, it's called The Experience.
Is that in town?
No, they come in seasonal.
Okay.
That's the name of it. My brother loved it. It's not cheap, but everybody's dressed like in the 30s. The actors inside, but you're inside. You're not watching the play. You're in the play.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. My brother's like, it's crazy. You get emotional because then the people are running because of the, here comes Castro and all this crazy. It's like, wow. He was
Yeah,
the name of it.
my wife was in Cuba at that time.
Oh yeah.
So, well, post.
Oh yeah.
Fidel had come.
Yeah.
But wild. How about you? How's business?
Ooh. Yeah, moving up. But I don't think. Looking more returns.
Oh yeah.
'Cause a lot of people did put the carrot thing and they send it back. because you're dealing with professional products, they don't know how to iron and stuff like that. And the number one seller is full of formol, which when you iron, your eyes start burning. But I think that guy's paying for influencers to fill the reviews. Yeah.
This is the Mother's Day effect.
Yeah.
It's my birthday too.
It is Mother's
Your
Day.
birthday?
Well, Mother's Day
Yeah.
Sunday, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
How are
Happy
you?
birthday.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy birthday. Oh,
Yeah.
you chose to come here on your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
Always
We're
for.
doing a little celebration.
That's it.
Okay.
Combo that.
That's
Cool.
funny. It's your birthday.
I'm giving it a couple minutes more. Normally, we wouldn't have a meetup on Mother's Day weekend, but next week is that Mundo Amazon event,
Yeah.
which is technically not ours, and then the last Saturday of the month is a holiday. I forget which one.
Memorial.
Memorial Day. So I was like, I don't only have one of these per month, wifey approved. And then we're doing stuff tomorrow, and so yeah, happy to be doing this.
That's why I don't wanna skip here, and so we assume you probably won't do anything for Memorial Weekend, so we're gonna
Right.
swap to, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do anything alone. We're going away.
No, wait, you keep doing this, I'm gonna think you're gonna be a regular again.
I'm back.
I love
Oh,
it.
what's up?
Good. This is the Mother's Day effect.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oui, Aline.
Yeah. Ting's
What
been,
is 3D? What is it?
oh yeah, it was just sold on Amazon. Not by Disney either.
You did?
No, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I brought it. Yeah, Ting, you've been killing it on Telegram. People have been telling me they're so happy that I'm doing the Telegram, and I was like, I think I've logged in twice. That's Ting. You should private message her and thank her.
Oh, for TikTok?
Yeah, she's doing
Yeah,
the
that's
TikTok
really
chat
fun.
room for the group, and it's been great. It's been the most active. That's really good. Thank you.
She's like super excited about TikTok.
Yeah.
Every day.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and what you find, you seem very open to sharing it, paying it forward, and teaching people. I think that's the best way to really learn. So you'll learn a great deal too.
Yeah. See, we thought we were gonna launch a PR hybrid like model on TikTok, but it turned out we did Amazon first. So compared to Amazon and TikTok is way more exciting because Amazon just shuts me off. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and PO wholesale hybrid is better for Amazon because the whole reason why that model works really good is there's so much search on Amazon, and because the product you put together with your PO wholesale hybrid has so much search, whereas that sort of search for that type of product is not being searched for on TikTok. So I think you made the right move.
And the open mind and TikTok is so for young kids.
Yeah.
That's another thing we first said something for young kids. That's when we searching sourcing for young people.
It's
Even their staff, like we're having like video chats with them. Dude, it's like
You're old.
17-year-old kids
Yeah.
telling me like what to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is crazy.
really
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the U.S. or from Asia or from.
I think U.S. Yeah, they've been all I think pretty much U.S. based.
Yeah.
Maybe one person we spoke with was like in India or something. Or
No,
did she look Indian?
She's I know she's Muslim, but I don't know which one.
I'm really excited about Walmart. We've been kind of down the past few weeks.
Walmart's been going good for you, huh?
I need to be able to come pretty cool with that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
It seems like the topics that most people are talking about now and like the side conversations is TikTok, Walmart, PO Wholesale Hybrid, Amazon Influencer Program, TikTok Influencer Program. And with fees and logistics and everything where it is, it's so crazy, but it's almost like private label has become has rivals for the top conversations that go on in the group, which I'm not completely sold on that, but it's like, it's good to go in the direction that everyone's going, where everyone's making money, strike while the iron's hot. I guess what I want to say, it's just very difficult because obviously private label is my thing. And it feels weird sitting like this, and this feels so high. But I've seen these types of things. I think TikTok's going to be an exception. Like, I don't think it's going to be one of these like little fads that goes away. But I've seen these things come and go over the years. And everybody go all in on this thing, and then then it's not, and then they've lost so much time building their own brand, and you know, at the end of the day, that is the asset that you own. So it's.
But,
So I want to say, like, do all these things, like, have fun, do it, but not with all the bandwidth you have, because I remember when the Amazon Associates program came out, which is, you know what it is? The Amazon Associates program?
Back when we were like, yeah, that's like
Exactly.
20, that's,
Right, that's, the Amazon Influencer program is
Yeah.
part of the Associates program.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the Associates program came out, you could get the link to any product on Amazon, and still can, by the way, and share it with people. And then when they clicked your link and bought it, you made royalties. And everyone was like, this was the discovery of fire, right? The courses, the YouTube channels, all this stuff. And then what happened? Amazon said, no, we're not going to pay you 9%, 10% per
Yeah.
click, and we're going to pay you 1% per click. And the novelty of Amazon, I guess more people got Amazon and more people were shopping on Amazon, to where you now needed an audience. This little thing called building an audience and paid traffic. And then it was like, wait a minute, if I'm doing that and I'm only able to make 1%, like, the math doesn't work here.
Right.
And now it's turning into hours upon hours each day trying to get people to click on this link for 1%. And now it's a topic that none of us, we've never had at a meetup event in going on 10 years on the Amazon Associates program. So where would that time have been better spent in hindsight? On your private label brand? Or, so that's it. You were gonna say something?
No, have you met anybody that's really killing it, you know, among the group that we know, killing it on TikTok? Like making millions?
No,
Yeah, me either.
no. Okay, so
I know some Chinese people like Temu style, they're doing it great when something picks up in TikTok, but I haven't met anybody who's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm selling 100 grand a month in TikTok, just
So-
TikTok alone.
So I guess we can officially start, and we'll go with that. But, so like well, you're in front of the mic, so I think people heard, but just in case. No, that's good, people heard. Do I know anyone that's killing it with TikTok? Personally, I do not, nor do I know anyone who knows anyone personally. Because I've hit my network up, actually with the exception, I don't know, Ting, you know somebody, I don't know if that's it, but I hit my network up and I'm like, I will fly a person in, I'll pay for their hotel. If they're legit and they can show me they're legit, I'll bring them in to present. They can sell their course, they can do all this stuff. Just show me you're legit and make this happen. Everybody kind of fizzles out when I do that. I've only met one person, and the numbers that they show are not even like, I mean, they're showing you like they do this one 30-second video or less on this one random widget, usually a supplement, and the supplement on the influencer side brought them $80,000 in royalties for this thing. So it's like, haven't met anyone that can back that up. I have met some brands who, one of the major levers that they throw in their Amazon business, in their Amazon FBA private label business, is they have their products in TikTok Shop, and they treat it like an ad spend, kind of like if you were running ads on Meta to drive traffic. And they're like, our products are on TikTok Shop. I'm gonna put like a 40, 50, 60, or 70%, commission bolo out there if someone sells my product. It's extraordinarily easy, not only for the influencers to find, but for you to put it in front of the influencers, right? They see this. There's this massive army of people on TikTok who their business is selling this stuff, and making money off the affiliate commission. So they do it. A whole bunch of people do it. So now you have a whole bunch of people that it's working. They're buying your product because these people are good at selling your product. And about 20-25% of those people choose not to buy it on TikTok Shop. Instead, they choose to buy it on Amazon. They're like, I don't want to wait the 6 to 8 days.
Right.
I buy it on Amazon. So imagine this big spike in sales, and you could basically direct 20 to 25% of external traffic straight into Amazon
Right.
during a launch. That is powerful.
Right, I guess they see it as a marketing expense other than that.
Right,
Like,
and
that
the-
type of Fifth Avenue strategy where the store in Fifth Avenue doesn't make any money, but it's for branding purpose.
Yeah, Yeah, it's super wild that I'm seeing that. And these people doing that on TikTok, I've seen people that are doing like about 100K a year on TikTok. I've not met anyone doing 100, but in that strategy alone, that's what they're doing. But they're not also, they're launching like 2-3 times a year. So what they made on TikTok Shop translated to about 100K a year, which for a new platform, I don't think that's bad. But not the millions that
People
people
claim.
in the courses and some of these YouTube channels are creating. The only person actually who has shown me their numbers on the affiliate side of TikTok and just said, I don't have the time to come, is this Latino. I believe he lives in Miami Beach, and he has a YouTube channel called Ecom Bull. So I signed up to get his attention because he wasn't answering anything. I just signed up to all his stuff, bought his course, and just finally got his attention. And I was like, hey, look, this is what's going on. And he was happy to show, like pop the screen open and show, but he just says, I don't have the time. So I was like, oh, you know, like what's going on here? And then final point on this, and that makes me currently, like I want to be wrong here, but it makes me even more skeptical, is when I go to these people and I look, okay, let me go on your Instagram, let me go to your Facebook, and let me just scroll back 4 years. Like, what were you posting and what were you about? And it seems to be most or all of these. And it doesn't mean if somebody was into one of these things that they're necessarily sketchy, but it's drop shipping, posing in front of a Lamborghini, courses, NFT Bitcoin. But not even NFT Bitcoin, because everybody kind of looked at that, right? And it's like, maybe it's not a bad thing to look at, but it was courses on how they're making millions with Bitcoin. 2 months after the drop shipping one, and I was like, well, where's the learning curve up here? Like, when did you learn how to do that? You know? Yeah, so that just makes me a little like, they appear to be people that are really good at preying on people with great marketing tactics who are in a certain state in their life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I think the guy, I don't know if the Tom mentioned that to you, Lauren Mack, if I say his name.
Yeah, we took his course.
Yeah.
Matt
Is that-
Lorien.
Is that him?
No, that's not Ecom Bull.
He is in Miami as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He stood me up for about, Matt Lorien stood me up for about 9 Zoom calls.
Okay.
Usually 1 and that's it.
Yeah.
But I kept doing it because I wanted to bring someone from the group. He even threw something out there, just bad form, with like, what am I being paid per minute, per hour, like who asks something like that? I mean, there was a lot of different ways you could have asked, like, is this for a paid thing or is it a free thing?
Yeah.
But instead he just threw out there, like, what's my breakdown of pay per minute, per hour, and I was just like, what?
Very aggressive.
Yeah, I was like, what's your deal, dude? It was bad. It was a really bad experience. He has a business partner that seems to be a lot more level-headed in that Discord chat.
Okay.
We're about to stop his program. We went all the way through it. We meaning I did like 5% and my wife did 95%. Let me
How
see.
did it go? Is it worth it?
If you can get past how obnoxious he is, then yeah. Where's my Wi-Fi signal here? Let me just check something, make sure I'm on the right one. There we are. If you can get past how obnoxious he is, then yeah. But I think it's not. I would take it. How about that? Let me hit on the guy. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking it. I think there's some takeaways from it. One, if you ever feel like putting out a course, you could always look back and say, this guy put that out. I can put anything out. And then the other one is he does basically what Hormozy and Russell Brunson and everyone did, is he got marketing tactics that have been around forever and just repackaged them for, in this case, TikTok influencer stuff. So it feels more relevant. But if you don't know those marketing tactics, then I guess it's just as good of a way to learn them as it is. But make sure you cut it once you've gone through it. It's very long. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe 20 hours worth of content.
Wow.
What he's doing, I know he's on affiliate side, and I was the one to mention it earlier. So on TikTok, there's two types of TikTok account. So seller account, exclusively selling your brand stuff or just on your shop stuff. Everything you post in your account, exclusively for your brand.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do affiliate, separate your account out to another one. Do not put in the same account. It look really bad. I think the new policy, maybe they don't allow to do that, or I have to read the policy again. So if you want to affiliate, you want to review somebody else's, open another account, move to another account. Don't combine everything to your brand in an autonomous your brand on TikTok. That's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what we're doing, we're on the seller side. So I wanted to review this speaker, right? I'm going to open another account, just do exclusively for affiliate and the review. That's it. Just do two. I have two different accounts now. But don't. Also, this is from the insider. It's better to not link the two accounts onto one LLC.
Oh, yeah.
You always can change something in the future, but do not link those two. If something happened to
Hello.
one, it's gonna happen to another one. So most likely just separate. It's better to separate them out.
Yeah, I agree. We just, I think Tom's coming later and he'll share the thing he had, where they told him something like once you've tried this 7 to 9 times, ask again or something. But we had something where we used the loophole to get the followers, because you need 5K followers. And then apparently they're going through, and anyone that used the loophole, they're starting to not shut the account down, but say basically you can't monetize until you do get, I guess, what they think. So we went the path of getting those followers, and which should be in the next day or two. But it's very I would not feel comfortable building a business right now if it was my only means of income. I wouldn't feel comfortable building it on TikTok. It's just like the same thing that would have happened with Amazon 15 years ago. Like you just literally, if I came in here and checked something, and you had logged in under this Wi-Fi before, you were done with no POA, no anything. It's like that. And the people, like she mentioned, nothing against 17-year-olds, but it's a 17-year-old on the other side being paid by the hour, and they're overwhelmed on growth. So there's no one there to really help you.
Yeah.
So I'd be very cautious. I would treat it currently as explore this, don't bet the farm on it, and yeah.
What percentage would you do for TikTok, Amazon, YouTube?
A percentage of what? Like if you had an ad budget or
Your
time in the day?
Time in the day,
Yeah, time in the day. I don't think, so for TikTok, I look at it like two different ways. One, you're looking at it, a topic that comes up a lot lately in the group is doing it as an influencer, and the other one is doing it as TikTok shop and that you're selling, right? So I think if you're doing private label, you should definitely have TikTok shop, but put as much effort into it as you do influencers and ad spend. Like however much you're spending on ads, I would probably spend that much on, unless you're one of these people, unless you're like Ramon, a friend of mine, that just probably spends, I think, all day long looking at his ad spend and his keywords. But I would look at it like that, as a channel to inadvertently drive traffic during a launch or throughout to your Amazon account. Yeah. And then on the influencer side, I don't know anyone personally. Nobody that I know knows anyone personally that is putting up those numbers. Largest people I've met, again, per year on TikTok shops is about 100K per year, which if you're doing that on eBay, I'd be very impressed. So, yeah. Welcome. Glad you made it. All right. Here we go. Any questions, by the way? I got a small little bit of products, just trying to stay into the vein of evaluating products and stuff like that. I pulled up a few. Had more time to do it last week, but I think we got a few pretty cool ones.
So I got a question. It's kind of a follow-up. I know I talked to you a little bit about a suppressed listing. So What other factors, maybe just like generally, would cause it to be something to be on like page 2 or 3 instead of like on the first page? Beside like, and I'm narrowing in on like low inventory or, yeah, mainly like low inventory, I guess, and maybe pricing.
I'm not understanding the question.
So on Amazon, could factors like low inventory or bad pricing cause you to stay or be like stuck on like page 2 or 3 or 4 or even later?
So does bad pricing and bad listing cause you to prevent you from getting on page 1?
Not necessarily like a good listing. You know, you got all the bullet points right. You got the A+ content. You're pretty solid on that.
Yeah.
But could other factors like low inventory or bad pricing cause you to be on the second or third or fourth?
Low inventory is not going to prevent you from getting to the top of page 1 on page position. I'll say that. I'd say a lot of the factors you named seem to be factors that have some weight in getting the buy box. So if you were on a listing with multiple sellers and you had low inventory, or you had bad seller reviews, or you didn't have a big catalog of products you were selling, you were on FBM. These are all like factors that weigh in on the buy box, but price and FBA being the biggest.
Okay. What about no reviews or lack of reviews or?
Well, I don't think that those directly prevent you from getting on the first page. I think if you have little to no reviews, a bad listing, and low inventory, it probably means the listing doesn't deserve to be on the first page, like it's not getting sales. Because if it is getting a ton of sales, how is it getting a ton of sales with a bad listing?
It's more of like a new launch,
Yeah,
specifically for like a new launch.
Well, if it's a new launch
we're on
and it's a
page
bad
5.
listing and you're on page 2,
Yeah.
I don't think that's entirely bad.
We're on
Because-
page 5 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, page 5.
How about this? Let's look at it another way. So if you have a bad listing, fix that.
Hmm.
And like everything else really just starts falling into place after that. Like, are
Okay.
you running ads?
Not yet. We're getting,
With too much time on TikTok.
yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, you want to do something, I forget who first coined this, but I loved it ever since. You need to get your listing ad ready, right? So too many people are running ads to listings that are not ad ready.
Hmm.
And ads perform, guess what, bad on a listing that is not ad ready.
Hmm.
And then the blame is PPC's too hard, I can't do PPC, it's a waste of money, spending more than I make. But in reality, it's a bad listing that's causing that. Now, if you have a great listing and you're running ads and you have a similar experience, then it's something else. It's probably your targeting. It could be reviews. It could be Amazon misreading your listing as far as like what your listing is really about. I could get that Star Wars helmet that's here, and in my office, I have a stack of blank paper that I like to just write out ideas, or that can also doubles to go in the printer. But the office I built, meaning I hired handymen, by the way, but the office I built has a fan in it because it doesn't have good circulation. So I don't want the papers to fly, so I use that as a paperweight, right? Now, if I was to add that listing onto Amazon, so to try to convince people and sell this as a paperweight, that's not relevant. So like, that's gonna cause a lot of issues. So even if that listing was great, but I was running ads on that for the keyword paperweight, Star Wars paperweight, it would just perform bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. That
So-
gives me some insight. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions before we get into this? No? All right. Kind of liking this flow. Some feedback from you guys about all these tabs that I open and why don't I just do slides so you can get slides afterwards? We'll see. Creating the slides for me is an extra bit of work that just feels like a different type of work. It might come out to be the same amount of time as me just popping tabs open. So right now, I'm just trying to get a rhythm and keep it as simple as possible for me so that we can dive into it a little bit. The other thing is, I plan on going back like we've been doing a lot of private label stuff. I do plan on going in a little more often and doing some wholesale product evaluation. So thank you for the reminder. I really like that the feedback we've been getting from this segment has been a lot. I think we're getting more like, you know, direct message feedback to me after the event for these sort of things than we do our regular events. So definitely keep that coming, and thanks for the reminders about doing some wholesale products too. I will definitely do that. So right now, like I mentioned to you guys that we got Jungle Scout as a sponsor. I use Jungle Scout for certain things. I know you guys probably use it for others. So I'm just boning up on a few areas, and very soon when we're doing this, I'm also going to be opening up Jungle Scout so you can see my take on it, which sometimes doesn't agree with Jungle Scout, and Jungle Scout's view as well, which is pretty amazing. But I found a product that I liked, but I don't like it really in the state that it's. I don't hate it. I don't like the price point, and it's this one. But look, I was looking into, I'll tell you what I think could really work with this product, and I guess one of the lessons today is just how to be more creative, especially with solutions or liquid products. Again, in the vein of, I have a product in here today that we're going to go over that's a China play. I know I've been focusing a lot on the US, and that's not everybody's cup of tea. But I've been looking into doing like bird feeder stuff and like getting into that with the kids. And there's this one bird feeder that you could put like a GoPro in the back of it and see all the stuff. So I think my kids would really like that kind of thing. I would have fun, and we could do bird identity. Just a fun thing to do with the kids. And in doing that, I also stumbled across a fountain, like a small bird drinking fountain. And I was pretty shocked when I was looking at something called Ahrefs online at how much opportunity there was. Basically, how many people actually have a little fountain in their house or whatever in the front of the back that is for birds to drink out of. And I always thought it was just they had a fountain, but the main purpose of this fountain was for birds to drink out of. And it gets scummy and algae and all this other stuff on it, so there's treatments that people can do for this. I got this and started looking at some of the chemicals on it and went to Thomas Net and found out that this, by the way, going to some shows and seeing that what I'm about to say is a possibility, with that top of mind, I went and spoke to some of these factories where this would actually be significantly more effective and have significantly more profit margin if it was done in tablet form. So it does not have to be in liquid form. And when I looked at this industry, there's nobody that has tablets. So going into the backyard with one of these things and squeezing some liquid in or measuring it out versus getting a tablet and just dropping it in the fountain, I think would do really well. There's no doubt that the niche itself, which I don't know if I search for it again, let me see. No. But if you look at like bird bath fountain cleaner, there's not a lot of competitors and they're getting a lot of sales. I don't like $13.95 right now on Amazon, especially for something that weighs 1 pound.
Exactly. I was about to
Right.
say the same.
So I don't love it. I also did not do enough research to see if there is a bigger jug that you could sell at a bigger price point for maybe B2B people. I don't know if there's people that service these bird fountains for other people. So I don't even know if there's a B2B play. So again, I don't like selling a 1 pound product at $13.95 on Amazon right now. But when I did see it, it did make me think, and this is what I'm really trying to get at when you look at a product, figure out how you can do it differently. So this in tablet form, you're looking at something, imagine like a roll of Lifesavers. It's still going to be subscribe and save. You have significantly more selling points because of what it is. I don't know that the people that are into these bird fountains are into like, they're more eco-friendly than others, but I suspect that there's like a leaning that way, and knowing that there's, you know, carbon footprint in mind, and you're not just sending, you know, this 2x concentrate, which is 80% water inside of this thing. I think it would be a really good play. I also think, shockingly, that you could sell it for more because it's space saving and because it's a tablet. I think you can get it up to maybe $19.99, but definitely, you know, higher than $13.95. So when you're looking at a product, think about how you could do it differently. Like last week, we looked at kintsugi. I've been on a kintsugi kick all week, by the way, and the niche looks better and better the more I look into it. But for those of you who don't remember, kintsugi is the. Can somebody, by the way, pop open YouTube to see any questions we have coming in? Do you mind opening another tab?
I forgot about it.
You're on it, Tom?
Roger that, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It would just be YouTube and Wizards of Ecom, and you'd see the live stream. Just anybody that has questions, so that I'm not ignoring them. But kintsugi was when I don't know if it's just ceramic, but it seems to be predominantly ceramic. That when something breaks, you put it back together, and maybe instead of using glue, you're using like a gold or gold-colored material to bond it back together, to where fixing something that's broken and bringing it together, the meaning and all that behind it. So if you're looking at you want to sell mugs, maybe kintsugi mugs. If you're looking at selling this solution, maybe tablets instead of liquid. If you're looking at an oversized product, how can you re-engineer that to make it smaller? So I think that's a power skill when you're looking at products to source, and it's something that a software is not gonna. There's no filter in there that says, show me the different material types or methods of manufacture for the product. So that's one that I found. Any questions on that before I go to the next one?
Just a quick question. What app is that one that you use in upstairs that give you upstairs? I mean,
This?
that gives you all that info.
So this is, let me see. This is either lowest hanging fruit. These annoying things are lowest hanging fruit, or Spies On for Amazon influencer program stuff. I'm about to move this off to a different computer, just so that when we do use it, that otherwise it gets obnoxious when you're trying to do your product sourcing. I've not really looked at it though. Let me see something. Low stock, no. I've never looked at it for like private label sourcing to see if it's no. Maybe. Yeah. So that's what that is.
So I was looking at a company called Crystal Clear Muck Off.
Let me see.
Crystal clear.
Crystal Clear Muck Off.
On Amazon?
Yes. Here's your tablets.
This?
Left.
That's back to
This? Oh, look at that.
Ah.
Muck Off, natural pond muck treatment, water garden founder.
That guy sell a lot more.
$39.99.
Yeah, 600 units a month. The other one was 200.
Yeah.
Well, go to his listing and then look at his variation, because he does have a smaller one, I believe. So
Oh,
at
look,
that.
tablets.
Yeah, look at that, that's what I meant, tablets, but then go to a smaller one, like a 48 tablet. Put a 48 tablet, and you should see maybe 1,000 units, 800, go to 24,
900, yeah.
go to 24 tablets.
Yeah, this guy's selling and making money.
Yeah, so look at that.
Wow.
So, some of this stuff is validated. Like, I hadn't seen that listing. This surfaced, and the whole point for me was looking at this as like a different way to manufacture it. And sure enough, there is someone that is doing this in tablet form, and they're selling it for more, which was my suspicion, which was like, I was like, hey, I bet you could get away with selling this for more because it is. This person is just, also the other thing, which was like, I didn't have the time to look into, but I would assume you're buying 384 tablets, this is a B2B play. Like, who's buying 384 tablets?
Click on that one. Just to see how many units a month.
1 burger a day.
50. Yeah, that's not bad.
But go to his store, and then this is what I like to do, and then go to water treatments probably.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, look
Maybe
there,
water
6, 7
clarifiers, maybe water clarifier, outlet control somewhere in there. You're probably gonna
Yeah.
get more tabs with granular or something like that.
Crystal clear.
Cool.
Why make one when you can make many for different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So let's hop over here. So yeah, look at that. Anytime you're looking at a product, what are the different ways that you can make it? I like it even more now. Obviously, I'm just seeing it now, so I can't dive into it. But I actually liked what I saw. I especially liked what I saw with this product when I looked off Amazon to Ahrefs, just because it looked like, shockingly, a category that if you just got into this and threw up, I don't know. I think with like 30 well-written blogs with some ChatGPT assist, I think you're coming up on the first page for some of this stuff. I think if you stuck with it for about a year, you know, maybe did 100 well-written blogs on this, I think you're at the top of page 1 on Google for almost every keyword imaginable on this. So that's really nice. Yep.
If you can just humor me 1 second, go back to that muck off brand. Go to the actual product page of it. Maybe just go to some of the water treatments.
Oh, you wanna?
And now go to the top of your page where you have your spies on. It should populate in just a second. And go to where it says related products there. That's
Yep.
what I like to do, and see if there's other competitors there on the left-hand side. I don't know if you see anything off the top that would be another competitor that does something similar to it. On the Amazon sold category column there, you can see all the different sales and see if there's anybody.
It's about this.
Yeah, who's that guy?
Looks like a welcome.
But that may not be.
Giselle,
Might not related, I know.
say, give me 1 second. Yes, yeah, this is it. Say.
What is that, by the way? I can't even tell what it says. It says grow.
Submersible pump.
Oh, it's a pump. So just.
Water pump.
But what that spies on tool does is it lets
Thank
you
you.
look at related products within that niche or other competitors within it without you having to kind of like go through other people in the carousels below. Yeah. It's just a pump, so never mind. But anyway, that was my 2 cents.
Any questions on this before we move on? No. Yep. Was that a question or no?
No.
This one we've touched on a bunch. I pulled this one up. I've talked about ramen seasoning like ad nauseum, but look at, where is this? Look at the opportunity on this. This is top of page 1. Look at this listing. This person sold over 100 with a listing that looks like that. This is one of,
At $44.
yeah, at $44. This person has sold over 100
Less than $10.
of these. It's also in the ad spot, top ad spot.
What's the keyword that you put in there?
I just put ramen seasoning in for that. Another thing that I really like on this is I've been following this brand for a while, Just Spices, and they're doing a lot of stuff off Amazon and on Amazon. If you wanted to find a brand that I think is doing it well and it's probably going to really blow up on Amazon, it's going to be this one, Just Spices. They sort of started once I started mentioning a lot more of how I like the ramen seasoning brand on Amazon. So I'm just curious if it's somebody in the group. If it is, I plan on stop to use ramen as an example in some of these that I refer back to a lot, just because I know a few of you have come up to me and said that you're close to pulling the trigger on it. But if you are this person, I plan on stopping to say it anyway. I just want to like cheer you on from the sides. I'll give you some free advice on some things that I see that could be done better, but love the, while I'm not in love with the branding and I can't connect with it, I could see where it would be pretty powerful and stand out in this niche, so I think that's great.
Pretty interesting, the packaging.
Yeah, it's not, I would expect to see it on the shelf at Whole Foods, like that sort of packaging, yeah. But if you wanted something to follow, again, this category is still freaking amazing. Look at this, Clean Monday Meals, chicken and beef, spicy ramen seasoning, dairy-free and gluten-free. It's a very generic title. And it's selling for $44.99 and over 100 in the last month, so
Wow.
That's expensive.
yeah, a lot of people are buying it. Other thing I did, just because I really like ramen. I don't eat it as much as I would like, just because the places that I've gone to that I'm told are really good and that I like are not close to me. Like there's one in Brickell that's pretty amazing. You know what I'm talking about? The one in Brickell that it's in bars,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
rejas, like, and they only take cash.
Oh, no.
That's the
And
trick.
yeah, and then there's one in Wynwood that's like really good next to this taco place that I like a lot. But I was wondering like what other, because my daughter also apparently really likes soup. I'm wondering like, is she gonna like ramen? And what are other things besides ramen? Because if you show me anything, basically any Asian soup, and I'm like, that's ramen, like I don't, it's obviously not. So I jumped in here and I won't spend a ton of time, and I just did a really, on ChatGPT, I just put, what are 10 additional ramen-like soups and noodles? Please write in English language. So, came up with this. So pho, udon, soba, I think laksa, I'm not gonna do that, khao soi, jampyong, whatever. Anyhow, if you're bored, if you go to each one of these and you then put seasoning, paste, and accessories in Amazon, I did this for like 30 to 45 minutes. I came up with a list of about 50 easy products. So, some of these things were selling over 50 a month. Mind you, they had like 100 accessories for like, say, what was the one? I think it was either laksa or khao soi. By the way, if anyone knows the correct pronunciation, let me know. But I did that. There was like 40 different things that could go into that niche, and several of them sold 50 a month. So none of them on their own was like this hero product that's, you know, going to change your financial future. But they also only had like 16 results that came up. Like,
Wow.
16 results, no sponsored product ads, no headline ads. It's rare to find something like that on Amazon now again, and I know we tend to get lost in this. That's not a 7-figure brand. Like, don't think about that, especially if you're starting. It's the beginner hour. Like, just 6-figure brand, great. 6-figure brand with high profits is fantastic, trust me. That's what you should be looking at, and that was plenty there. What I would be cautious on, and that I don't know, but you could totally find out, is which one of these is there like some super high brand loyalty for. So like, there might be something with laksa, and I did not do a deep dive on laksa itself, but there might be like 80% of the population is like, if you're a real, I don't know, it's Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Singapore. So it might be like people that are getting this from Malaysia and Singapore are like, you're not really Malaysian or Singaporean or whatever if you're eating laksa from a brand besides blank, you know? So if there's something like that, you getting into the market is not gonna let you dominate a lot of it. So like, I don't know the degree of brand loyalty that's there. I didn't see anything in the Amazon results though that made me think that there was. So, really good. And I think it's a cool way to kind of look at, use ChatGPT. Again, prompts is not it's not my strong suit. Probably can come up with something a lot better than what are 10 additional ramen-like soups and noodles. With me? Any questions on that so far before we keep going? Really? Okay. Anything from the online, Tom?
Nothing.
Okay.
Steve, Jose, Alejandro are there. Alejandro had asked previously, can you describe the competitive price? I think that led to his problem about confused on how there's no buy box. So that was a while ago. Apologies.
As a matter of fact, here's one of them that I left open, this khao soi seasoning. The main ad that's placed is not even relevant. This is like Dan O's, some like Arkansas brand for taco mix. It's not even relevant to, it just lets you know that if you do run an ad, you're gonna do excellent out the gate. I think we could do better packaging too. This one I love. This is, I'm wearing this actually, and I'll put it out there. I didn't put it out there because I was like, I'm just gonna do it because it's gonna be stupid easy to do. So this is, there was a lot of issues on the stream with when we clip this mic, which this is like considered the premier clip-on mic. It's the Rode wireless go-to, right? But when you clip this, apparently if I'm looking this way or it folds over in my pocket, it changes a lot. So I got so much feedback that we looked for a device that doesn't have a mic stand pointing at me. So this lanyard exists. We got one, because I meant to order more now that we know that this works. Fernando and I did. But this thing is called the Ceramonic SR-MCA. This is a horrible listing, by the way. Horrible, horrible, horrible listing. You see I bought it here, December 2nd, 2023. And it's amazing, but it's compatible with pretty much every single other mic there is out there that's like this. And it's a piece of plastic and a shoestring. This is what this is. I think you could create about 10 listings out of this and have a lanyard compatible with Rode Wireless Go 2. Does not exist. And then the DJI, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing, and you come up with 10 listings. And the compatible with, when you're adding DJI in, when you're adding Rode Wireless Go 2, compatible with, it's gonna be pretty amazing. So I did a little, to show you what I mean, I put in Rode Wireless Go, which is not even a comprehensive search of like the types of microphones. This is just searching for this one. And you get to see just some of the other people that are coming up that are targeting Rode Wireless Go. So this Hollyland, Godox, Comica, I've messed with all these. All of them are compatible with this lanyard. So I would look at that as a different listing for, I would do this, which would be Hollyland, you know, compatible with Hollyland, adjustable lanyard, blah, blah, blah.
I believe that guy doesn't have one review.
No, not even one. Yeah, pretty wild. And there's just so many different mics just on this page. And again, there's a lot more mics. They're all compatible with this. You easily can create 10 other listings. Let me see if I save this one part. I put this in here. At the end of the day, what would the keyword be for this? Right? It's adjustable lanyard, right? When you put in adjustable lanyard or adjustable lanyard microphone, these are the results. Yeah. When you put in what's funny is you put in adjustable lanyard, right? And the results that come back are like, they're selling for $4, $3.87, like things where your money goes to die. But if you put microphone behind it, kind of like if you have chair and then you have wedding chair, same chair, but one costs a lot more. And if you're married, you know which one that is. All of a sudden you put microphone behind it. Oh, this is a good example. This is a six-pack of lanyards, adjustable neck for $9.99 for a six-pack. Nobody wants to do that. But all of a sudden, if you add the word microphone in it, and it's a lanyard for a microphone, it's $20 and more. And this thing cannot cost more than like a quarter, like 25 cents. Okay, so it's really nice. I think this is a China play. I mean, I guess you could 3D print. I don't know how strong it would be, but you could 3D print this clip, I'm imagining, or there's something local that you could do this clip, because the rest of it's just a shoestring.
Did you check it out on AliExpress or Temu who's doing it?
I look, nobody's doing it, positioning it as that way. The only thing you can find online that has,
copycats in Temu.
say, I think it would be, I think you can turn this into 10 listings, enroll each of them in Vine, bring them together, be the #1 person on the market, selling something that your landed cost, maybe landed to FBA is 30 cents and you're selling it for $20 to $25. Like that's a nice spot to be in. That's some nice money to generate just to dump into your PPC, if anything. Any questions on that? No? All right. I'm shutting these tabs down as we go. All right. I told you guys we could start doing some listing teardowns. So I'm going to throw one in, mostly for you guys to give me some feedback on listing teardowns. This is meant to be everybody getting involved, right? So ask questions, give your opinion on what you think would be different. I actually did an audit for this product a while back. I think it's a phenomenal product that's just being poorly represented. So hopefully if you guys can come up with something that I didn't come up with in the audit, that I could feed it back to this person so they could actually bring this product to sort of to the promised land. To give you some feedback before we get into like auditing this listing. Person has a YouTube video on their product. They have a very successful Kickstarter that they pulled off. No, that's later. So they've invested something in this, yet this is the state of their Amazon listing. Right? And they came because they wanted me to run ads to grow this product. And I declined in the state of where the listing was at. Again, I know this. I've already done this audit. It's more for you guys to get involved in this. Like you're looking at this listing, like what, let me go to the main image first. What are the first things that you jump to mind? If this was your listing, you'd be like, I wouldn't do that.
Reviews.
Reviews, you want to get reviews. So the thing has no reviews. But in the state that it's in, what review could it get?
The bullet points, nothing.
Right?
The picture, obviously. I mean, picture is.
Pretty garbage.
I don't know. I don't even know what is it.
You don't know what it is.
I'd like to know what the size reference is. Like, what size is it? Like, there's nothing for reference, like a person's hand or something.
Okay.
Is it like a big,
So as far as size, the first bullet says pocket size. Remarkably compact design, perfect for all types of travel. But we know people don't read,
yeah, I didn't.
right? So nobody's gonna get to that bullet. Nobody's,
The title, obviously.
the title.
Washi travel
Washi, which is the brand,
Yeah.
right? And no one knows what it is,
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
right? So basically their title is travel laundry, right? But let's go with that. You don't know what it is, bad main image, right? What would you do differently? Like, what would you do if this was your product and you had all the budget in the world and you wanted to fix this main image, which I think is the number one problem that this one has. The title, if the main image can be done right, they would be being held back by travel laundry as their title for sure. But I think the main image is the number one problem on this listing, right? So what, and by the way, take a glance at the secondary images.
There's no video, right? No video.
No. Here's the secondary. So you have an idea of what it looks like. In this one, there's actual clothes in here. A little bit of water's added in with soap, and they just get to like hit it, go
I
like
see the
this.
clothes now.
So on the go, you're able to do laundry. So if you don't have time between driving from here to Broward County, you pull to the side of the road. No, I'm just kidding. And this is what it looks like. Right.
I'll be targeting different people. We're targeting campers only. I'll be targeting people that go to hotels actually.
But if they're going to a hotel, they would have laundry in a hotel room, right?
Believe it or not, you know, I used to be in the road all the time. I wouldn't pay $10 for somebody to do my shirt. It's just way too expensive. And then the type of hotels that sometimes you travel to, like, I don't know, Courtyard Inn and Naira Inn, all those garden inns. Not to say Holiday Inn. But
Okay, no,
Hampton Inn,
that's
none of
good.
those have laundry.
So
None of those have
you'd
laundry.
communicate something having to do with
That's a huge segment.
like hotels, somewhere in here, you want to communicate
That
that.
segment of hotels.
What about everybody else? What do you don't know what the product is. Let me break it down a little more. You don't know what the product is. You do now, right? But when you first looked at the main image, you didn't know what it was. What would immediately connect the dots for you?
Have some kind of like photo of like in use, like maybe a multi.
It's the main image.
Yeah, image.
But like, how would you do it in the main image, knowing Amazon's rules with their main image? I'll give you a hint just to like.
I
you
would
don't-
have some clothes or some bubbles attached to it,
Bubbles.
next to it, just would know that it's
So
it's
bubbles.
washable.
There needs to be some kind of signature, like the one that everyone thinks of that shows like a scoop of bubbles fell out of the tub and lands on the floor like a blop. There needs to be somewhere, almost like the supplements have the powdered turmeric in the corner. I think at some stage, this needs to have that dollop of suds. Suds communicates what? That there's soap and water. Perhaps the suds look clean, obviously not Miami Canal water, you know? So you have suds. I actually thought of your guys' product with the backpack and like on the go and,
Yeah.
but
Wait, what is this?
this is a on the go, fold up in your pocket for people that are traveling that want to be able to wash their clothes. So you put water, a little bit of tiny
Oh,
bit of
just
soap,
shake
and
it
you just
around.
shake it around. Yep.
It's missing detergent, right? Maybe travel
It's a
size.
big category,
Oh,
by the way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Probably, yeah.
horrible.
It looks like a laundry bag to
Yeah.
me.
I would,
Just
It looks like one of those things when you have a headache that you put on your head.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
thought.
or like those ice packs for your knee, the blue ones. Yeah.
A pillow at one point.
But let me ask, it looks like that because of the state that it's in right now, right? It's in this, like you see the product now.
Why are the instructions on the package, on the thing itself?
That's, I guess they
I feel like
thought,
that reminds me of a life vest on a plane.
okay. So we're back to like, this doesn't look like, you don't know what this is when you first look at the main image.
I don't.
I think it's
So,
missing parts.
some of the things that I'm suggesting is, one was a suds in the bottom right corner. So like what we're gonna describe, I think having the suds in the bottom right corner is gonna be, it's a visual that's gonna communicate clean, water and soap make suds. Like, I think most people can make that connection. The other thing I would do is, I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but you see that there's a towel inside of here, right? Can you see that? That's not,
No, beautiful.
huh?
I don't understand. Oh, okay, it's just.
Right, you initially think that's what the thing looks like what is that? But you gotta look a little closer and there's a towel in there.
Oh, it's transparent.
Yeah, it's transparent. That's
Oh,
not
I
the
thought it was
design.
gray. I
Right,
thought
yeah,
it was gray.
exactly. So the thing is transparent, but because the bottom of this product is dark and there's a towel in it, it makes it look like it's this weird gray.
So what
Right.
about if you put a towel in that was kind of obscured a little bit, but a towel that was coming out that was absolutely clean and it had a
Could.
little ding, like
could.
sparkle on it, and then some suds.
You could. I don't know if you pull that off in the main image, but I definitely like something like that in the secondary.
Is this something that like people look at it and they know what it is? Like this is obviously a horrible representation, but like if it was better represented, like people would say, oh, that's a travel laundry thing, or is this one of those things that you gotta look on TikTok and you say, oh wow, look at this cool product, I never knew about this.
I will go with a rendering, by the way.
So this is, when you look up pourable on-the-go laundry, this is what you get. This sort of stuff. So someone that's searching for it is expecting to see,
That's a lot of money there.
yeah, it's a great category. Yeah. I know it's not your niche, but when I thought of like, anytime I do think of like, I know it's more hydration, but when I thought of your backpack and somebody like out doing it, I was like, do they wash their clothes? Like, this looks like something that just clips on,
Yeah.
doesn't change the weight,
What's the cost on that, Carlos? Do you know?
nothing. On the person of this one, it was like
Sig luck.
$1.10. Yeah.
Wow.
Might be an add-on
Nice
for
guy.
him.
Yeah, but it was like $1.10. But yeah, it's a good category. So I think having something inside that's a different color, that's not white, would help. I think I would personally make this look clearer even than what it is, even though it's clear, because you need to be able to see what's inside. And if you did that, no one's going to receive this and say it's clearer. It's not as clear as in the picture. I even would consider removing this, even if it showed up with this on, but I would put something on there that does like maybe that says, kind of like, you know how you'll put like Anthony Cofrancesco shared one time how, which is like a major eye opener for me, of how like these protein powders will get like this celebratory star sticker, like metallic gold foil looking sticker on the bottom right of their container. It looks like it's part of the container, and it clearly says 52 grams of protein or something, which is like the main thing people are looking for. But when you receive it, it doesn't have the star on it, because it's not. It's just added in a render on the image. I would do something like that on this packaging as well.
Yeah, so like talk about it in the packaging, because I was
Yes.
thinking like if it's so cheap, why don't you just add like I don't know, like a towel, and on the towel you actually print like something that you can put on the main image, because I know you
Right.
can't put text on the main image, but if it's part of the product, you can.
Correct.
Maybe having the package behind it that would actually say,
That's it.
describe what it does.
Yeah, his packaging looks really bad, but
That's
you could
exactly-
totally fake that. I was thinking, instead of packaging, putting this, because you also want to communicate how small this thing could get. Remember in the
I
beginning,
put
you
that
were
on
like,
the main image.
yeah,
100%.
I would put that on the main image beside it. I don't know if you're going to look at packaging the smaller, because the two things about this is compact and you're washing on the go.
An example for me is in the beach chair niche, there's these guys that they sell a super small beach chair that it literally goes to the size of this water bottle, and they put that on the main image, and that's their selling point. And they sell it for like $110. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a piece of shit. Actually, I don't care if it's weird, but huh?
Yeah, 6.7 liters. I think 6.7 liters,
Yeah.
or expressing how much volume it could hold, might be one of those things that's communicated on the text as if it's part of the product, because you want to know, like once you're communicating that this is something I can take on the go to do wash, and that it's portable, it's like, how many loads do I need to do? Like, could I put all of my clothes that I have on that I want to wash in at one time? Or I got to do the shirt, then the jeans, then, you know what I mean? Like, I would put in like how, exactly what you said, what's the capacity of this thing on the product. So, okay. I thought we were going to have more time to go deeper into this, like into the copy, but we can revisit it. Any feedback you guys have on like tearing down some of these listings and walking through it, let me know. I think it would be super helpful if we keep doing this sort of thing.
The title is.
Yeah, it's non-existent. Even though I would prefer a shorter, like extreme shorter title than a long title personally, this doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If I do the speech, maybe one head, t-shirt, put this product in down, put t-shirt inside, and two head, put water.
Yeah.
This was make line.
Yeah, this would also be one of those products that you don't skip the video on. Like this needs a video, right? Preferably a whole bunch of Miami Amazon influencers using the woods in the background, using the hedges in Tom's backyard as a background. We're like,
Influencers are killing it. They're doing good.
let's see. I would have a little bit. Just touching on this a little bit. I pop over to Kickstarter every now and then, and I like looking for ideas for products on Kickstarter, and found a bunch this time. If you're in the kitchen category, I love what these guys are doing, and for some reason they're not taking it to Amazon, but it's a good example of, this is a product that is not patented. They do a phenomenal job at like communicating what this is. Let me just show you a picture. Do they have a picture down here? It's cork on the bottom, which is a cork heating pad, which those things exist everywhere, and a cork top for heat, plus like a Pyrex-like dish is all it is. But what they're selling it for is just unreal. You're gonna have significantly less competitions because of this glass that most people run from, and they seem to really know how to do Kickstarter. So if you wanted to look for a brand, like if you're on Kickstarter and you're looking for product ideas that you can get in front of, it also helps to also look to see who's playing the Kickstarter game right. This is their biggest one they went after, but they pulled off a shorter successful Kickstarter beforehand for an unrelated product. And for some reason, they don't want to put their products on Amazon, so they just do Kickstarter, Shopify, social media. So, pretty good.
Maybe they think that if they bring it to Amazon, everybody's gonna copy that because.
But reverse is happening. People are filling the gaps with some of their products. Yeah, but to each their own. One little cool strategy I like to do while you're on Kickstarter, it's been great for me, is if you can try to put together a small, no matter how small, but like a small budget every month, jump into Kickstarter and just back some projects, like $5, $10, back projects that are in your niche, maybe not your exact product if you see one. And the reason for that is a lot of these people, they barely pull off their Kickstarters. And if you back them, first of all, you don't lose any money unless they win, right? Unless they successfully back their project. But one of the things that brand is going to be doing is they're going to be super active in the comments and on social media here. So it's an easy opportunity to get to really know the brand, become a memorable person for them, share their stuff around. And if you know that later you're going to be launching products, whether it's on Kickstarter or not, in that niche, you now have this list of people that for a couple dollars every month, you've pretty much built up influencers that you have a relationship with in this niche that can put your product out to their category. So it's one of those things you're not going to see a huge benefit on like months 1 through 3, but you know, as the time goes on, it becomes a very powerful thing to leverage during launches. Some months I miss, but for the most part nowadays I put in like $100, $150 backing Kickstarter projects, and you wind up getting some really cool stuff. That strategy's really helped me though in doing it over the years, because now in a respected category I want to get in, not everyone's going to, not everyone is going to say yes, but I get a good percentage of people that are going to say yes that have emails of people that are into backing new stuff, and not getting free products. Any questions from the stream, Tom?
None, senor.
Thank you.
So Kickstarter, if they don't get to the amount they want to fund, all the money goes back?
All the money
to
goes
the
back.
fund?
Yep.
So they will keep whatever they raise. I wonder why some people only want to raise $50,000, $10,000 because they know they
Well, you
want
need
to
to hit it.
get,
Yeah, you need to hit it, or you won't get it.
They won't pay.
I'm not going to be doing slides or anything on this one. We're just going to be talking about, when we get into this main topic now, about Blackhat. So I'm going to cut this part of the stream so people are not looking at this. Just give me a sec.
Adrian wants to know, could I have my listing reviewed if I share it here, please?
Yeah, tell them to share it. I'll open it up right now. I mean, are you guys good with that? We spend like 5-10 minutes on a listing? Yeah? Well, let me leave it open then.
How do I respond to him?
Yeah, tell him to share the link. Well, he can hear me. If he's on there, he can hear me. So
Share the link.
share the link in the chat, and I will. Wow, it's so amazing the difference between having the glasses on and not. This is just a blur now. My eyes are like tanking. Yeah, I'll give him a second to share the link in the stream. If you're in, what's his name? Andrew?
It says Drum Adrian, 16.
Yeah, so Drum Adrian 16 if you, and I'm really hoping it's not an adult novelty product. No, I'm just kidding. But if you either share the product link in the stream, and then Tom's looking at the stream, he can copy paste it and send it to me on WhatsApp, or you can email it to me, carlos@wizardsofecom.com.
He said, I love this meetup, so.
Huh?
He said, I love this meetup.
I paid him to say that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let's see.
'Cause you guys haven't been saying it enough. Ting does, but you guys have been.
Said,
I'll give it a few more minutes. Today's topic obviously is going to be about Blackhat. To be clear, let me see. Anytime I do like 5 things or 3 things, I like to write them down so that I can keep track. Otherwise, I'll freeze. But we did a 5 things. I think I put 7 out there. Obviously, trying to over deliver. So we'll do it. Any link from him?
not yet, senor.
Okay. Give it like 2 more minutes because there's a delay. He's probably checking with his business partner and realizing like, his business partner's like, what do you mean you want to sell it? Put a link to our product out there amongst a bunch of them. No? All right. I'm gonna, let me see. Well, we can keep going. I'll leave this up for a little bit, and we're just gonna start with the topic this week. And if it comes in, we'll pause for a second, and I still have the connection done, so we can connect. Really quick, like 2 announcements that I didn't mention in the beginning that I should, is 1, next Saturday, we do not have a meetup here. So next Saturday is the Mundo Amazon event. I think it's at Jackie Gleason something. Is that what it's called? I think it's Jackie Gleason Theater.
Night, James Night?
James Knight, that's what it is. I don't think it's Jackie Gleason.
That was close.
Yeah, it's at this one, James L. Knight Center. I'm speaking on wholesale PL hybrid. The person who does Mundo Amazon started in this group many moons ago. It's English and Spanish. There's going to be a mix of both. Alexis and I are both speaking. Love for you to come. It's not my event. I can't get any tickets, but I think the tickets are like, I don't know how he's charging that little for tickets and doing it James L. Knight Center. So I'm going there actually thinking, Jesus Christ, James L. Knight Center, that sounds like it's got a little prestige to it to be able to have an event. So I'm I know, but you don't know that when you're looking at the event. You're thinking, wow, this person's so amazing that he could pull off. He is amazing, by the way, but you know what I'm saying? You get that. So I'm going to be presenting there. Typical, no slides. It's a very chill event. I know a lot of people in that crowd. They're great. I'm going to say it's like 85% wholesale. These are wholesalers. And one of the things that they really want to know besides scaling their wholesale business is PL wholesale hybrid. So I'll be going pretty deep on that, deeper than I normally get the opportunity to do here in the group. So take a shot to go that, but we will not be having our event here on Saturday. And I also really want to go just to support this guy that he's blown up, and he's obviously learned a great deal beyond this group, but getting his start here, and he's never, any opportunity he's ever gotten to like speak somewhere or anything like that, which has been quite a bit, and he's asked about like how he got started. He's always got amazing things to say about the group. So I'm just really happy to support him in his event. So I think
Tickets are $397.
$397, yeah. So I'm really happy to support. You're definitely going to learn at this guy's event, you're definitely gonna be learning some wholesale stuff that you don't know. Right? If you've been selling for like under 5 years, you're gonna learn some stuff at this event. Let's see, the following weekend, and this is another reason why we're having a Mother's Day event. The following weekend is Memorial Day.
Memorial.
So we don't have an event on Memorial Day weekend. So I didn't want to have our meeting last week and then pretty much no meetings here on Saturday all month. So we're having today's meetup. Then we have Mundo Amazon and Memorial Day, where our next one after that is I will be doing the event that we had to reschedule from before, which is how to start selling with PL Wholesale Hybrid. So maybe getting some stuff from that last event that hit, withholding a little bit, so I have some new stuff to share here. And then I'll be presenting on that topic as our next event after the Mundo Amazon event. You good? You with me? That was a lot. And pretty soon, we have some more events after that, but while I'm on the screen, I have this up. I know everybody likes to RSVP at the last second, but we have our grill and chill at the park. Sign up. I think it's a really fun time. Very hot, but a very fun time. At the park, you don't have to bring anything. It's free, and I think we have some really good brisket. If you do want to bring something, that obviously helps. I would say focus on like either reach out to me, or I think I added Tom, Ramon, Carmen, and other people who are usually like very in the know of what's going on as far as like who's bringing what to help coordinate. But it's usually the water, ice, which we can never have enough of. Beer is always a big plus. Sodas, that sort of stuff. But like the main, the brisket, the beans, it's really good. It's from La Traila Barbecue. I think the first year we did this, I grilled and realized I didn't want anything else to do with that, being at the grill all day. But that's it. Any link from this person? No? Okay.
Nope.
I'm just going to click this feed then and start. All right, there we go. Oh, by the way, this person for the Mundo Amazon event, he sent me a link, and I'm pretty sure the link gives us something off. I don't know what that is, but before you buy the link, it's not like an affiliate thing either. It's just like, it's like something off. If it's an affiliate, I'd be happy to pay whatever I get forward to you guys. I do know that they didn't extend any free tickets. So otherwise, that's one of the first things I ask if I'm gonna go speak somewhere and they want me to tell people in the community to go. I was like, well, how many free tickets did I get? I didn't get any of those.
If you can, there's no agenda either on his event. If there's nothing that says what's going on, there is a picture of a very, very small room, clearly from last year, but then there's a picture of a larger auditorium, but.
I can get, do you see the speaker list?
No.
Okay, they've been doing some stuff to the site. Reach out to me when I'm back in front of my computer and it's not Mother's Day.
'Cause there's not even a time for when it starts.
Yeah, but let me, I'll
It's a
just
two, it's a 2-day event.
Yeah, I'm going on Saturday. I do not believe I will be going Sunday because, or I might be, I don't know. Well, my wife's birthday falls somewhere in there and I can't go on her birthday.
Good move.
Yeah.
Good.
I know Friday we're doing the Carbonaro effect, so maybe I can go Saturday and Sunday, but I don't know if her family's doing anything with her on Sunday. But I'm definitely speaking there Saturday, and if I can go Sunday, I will. All right, I already cut the stream. That's good. And I can leave that up. All right. All right. So I think people here, you guys know what black hat, white hat, and gray hat is, right? Good. You guys are really animated today, huh? Shit. I guess we're going to get through this pretty quick.
I know the terms, but if you tell me to give you one sample of each, I probably have no idea.
I think a good way to determine this, where somebody's at on something, is I'll ask you, what is gray hat to you? Like give me an Amazon strategy that you consider gray hat.
Me?
Anybody, yeah?
How about instead of on your main image, you have a picture of something else attached to your main image, so it's not along the lines of terms of service, but because a la Anthony from
Francisco.
Pickfoo, if you're selling bonsai fertilizer and you have a bonsai tree that's touching it, that's against TOS, but it'll get you more attention because there's a bonsai tree, it's gray hat.
That's definitely gray hat. What gray hat is not is a gray hat tactic to manipulate getting reviews. So if you're doing manipulative stuff to get reviews, that falls firmly into black hat, regardless of the method you used to get them. I find some people, and this just goes into risk tolerance as to like where they place what. Like there's a lot of black stuff that fall into gray, and then their gray stuff falls into white. It's very skewed. So this isn't to judge anyone. I'm also not promoting any black hat stuff. I highly recommend you do not. I used to do a lot of it. I used to do a lot of black hat stuff when I started, and then it became a business, and then there's like people that are relying on me to pay them, and then there's real debt, and there's people that I'd be letting down, and then the risk really changed for me, and it was like the risk reward didn't make sense anymore. So now I am, if anything, too white hat. I think it is good for your business, especially if you're starting to operate it at least in a light gray area. Like you should be pushing limits in the business, because your competitors are probably skewing worse, darker than you, okay? I avoided a lot of the obvious black hat methods that are happening that I feel like we all know and it would be a waste of time to kind of cover. So I'm covering some of the ones that, and I'm using our internal descriptions of them, right? So I don't know if in the industry they call them something else, but internally in our company we have our own names for them. And then I'm going to try to put in how you can defend against this, right? Unfortunately, there's a few of these that there really is not, sort of like I'm going to try to share what is a defense you could do before it happens so that it may not happen to you, and then what you possibly could do if it has happened to you. This is definitely one of those situations where I think it's an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So the more you can do ahead of time to set yourself up for some of this stuff not happening, the better. One of the first ones, and this is the one that I have been a victim to too many times, is what we call torpedoing. And this is so deep into the black hat side of things that, I mean, I feel like the correct word for this is just theft and illegal. But it has happened to me a bunch of times, too many times. But what this is I'm going to put myself as I'm the black hat person just for the sakes of these examples. Let's say that I have a competitor and I know Juan's willing to play on the dark side, Tom is, and I get together and I was like, hey, let's buy 60 units each. Not exactly 60 each so that there's a very obvious pattern, but we're going to buy a large amount of inventory from our competitor, each of us. And then when we receive it, we're going to do some variation of ripping the lid off. So I receive a package of yours, I rip the top of the packaging off, and I issue a return, and I send all the products back. When the products return, first of all, you're out 180 units in this case. And when the products go back to Amazon, they're not fit for fulfillment. They're unfulfillable because the packaging is ripped off these things. Yet I get my refund back. You possibly went out of stock because this is usually timed right around the time of a holiday or before a holiday season starts. So your inventory is not ready. With longer check-in times, this has become a lot more dangerous. So does anybody get what I'm saying before I get into like, okay.
Is that really, really common?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
For
Yeah.
like high volume niches or lower volume niches? Or
It just depends on it really comes down to, does your competitor know of this strategy? And do they have themselves or a few other people that, it used to be a lot easier to really know how much inventory someone had in stock. It's a little more challenging, but yeah, but it's usually done before you start saying like say your product had to do with back to school. Before you start saying back to school season is here, it hits. So you will have already done your shipment. I look and say, your inventory falls within the range of what my network can do. And then it strikes and you're out. Like, yeah, you get the inventory, you can send in packaging. The person is not keeping the inventory. They're not doing anything but ripping the lid off, or everyone does a different variation of that and sending it back. It's basically sending it back so it is not fulfillable, and you're out, which you know is quite a bit of time from being able to sell that, and you're gonna take a pretty big hit on the inventory. A lot of the times what I see happen when I've been hit with it, they did it to an extent to put me out of stock. So it's pretty damaging. The only way that I know that you can prevent this is, for some reason, it usually happens right before peak. So when you're not in peak season, set a max limit on what somebody can purchase from you. It's pretty much the easiest thing that you can do. The only thing you need to be aware of is if you go into your account right now and you do it, what I notice is a lot of people will then forget, because it's really one of those settings that you just set it and forget it, especially if you're not used to seeing multiples come in. But then you spend a lot of resources in promotions that have to do with buy 3, get 2 free. You start doing promotions and advertising to ramp up purchases and wonder why they're not working, because you forget that you throttled the max sales. One of the other side benefits of doing the maximum 2, maximum 3 purchases is, and this, I mentioned this last week when we touched on pricing a little bit, is there's a study out there that shows you, like, you'll see a can, an aisle full of soups being sold, and it says cannot buy more than 12. Limit 12 soups. And in that scenario, people have a tendency to buy more. I've tested this on Amazon, and this is true. It stuns me, but it is true. So what you might notice is if most people only order 1 of yours, and you cap it at 3, you're going to see more 2s that are purchased. No idea why, but
is this only for a specific order, or for is it on an account level for the buyer?
No, it's going to be across the board for that particular product.
But like, let's say like I have my Amazon account that I buy things from, and I want to buy 10 of an item, and it caps me at 10. Let's say, can't buy 11. Is that just that 10 for that order, or can I go back and just, okay, I check out?
There's a period of time, and it seems to be different on all of them. Like, for example,
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
When can you buy again?
Yeah, it's definitely, the earliest I've seen was 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, because I've tried to do this with air tags and Apple charging cables. So when the new cables come out, Apple will cap them at 3. Air tags, they'll cap them at 3. And it's like, I want to buy like 25 of these things. Like, I have a genuine use. I'm not trying to but they'll cap them.
Yeah.
And I guess I feel like I wasn't susceptible to this, but now that I'm giving this example, I realize I'll go in there to get 1 cable, and when I go to click on it, and I see, oh, there's 2, 3 max. How come it's not more? Let me just get 3. Like, I buy more. So I guess I am susceptible to it. But you definitely should cap the max that somebody can purchase from you versus this faulty logic that leaves you open to Blackhat stuff, which is, let me just leave it open. Maybe somebody's going to buy 12 one day. It might be a business, If you want to go that route, set yourself up under the Amazon Business Program and create some tiered pricing for that, but don't leave yourself open to this. This is a very real thing on the Amazon Seller Central side.
He did put the link in. It appears he did a Kickstarter as well, and it worked.
Okay.
So whenever you want to break into
Yeah.
action to go back and look at it,
Yeah. And
I'll
his
put it in
name
the
was-
WhatsApp. I'll put it in the WhatsApp.
Yeah, put it in the
But
WhatsApp.
he definitely needs a review,
Okay.
in my
Yeah.
opinion. But
I
yeah,
have another question, Carlos. Did you notice this when it happened to you? Was it for your items in any price, or was it more like the lower price things that?
No, it was any price. Obviously, the quantities that were purchased were lower the lower the price was.
Higher even.
And I'm gonna tell you, I am guilty of this from being on the other side. Like, I have been into some wars with other brands on this, and yes, I've done this from the other side. So I will tell you, doing it from that side, and I don't recommend it. I was wrong when I did it, but it was a different time. And I know, but what is it? Business is war. Everything's forgiven. No, and we had our group of people. So you really just need someone who's willing to like. It's almost like you have some of your close friends that you can explain. Somebody's doing me wrong. This is what I need. I need you to spend $1,000 to $3,000, whatever, and you're going to get all your money back. I just need you to receive it. Let me know. I'm going to go say it was damaged. I'm going to damage the packaging, and then you're going to send it back, and Amazon's going to give you your money back. And everyone's like, yeah, I know Amazon's going to give me my money back. If you can find, you're limited by how many of those people you can find.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that are down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that helped. And
But don't you get, if you do that, then doesn't your buyer account get obviously affected by the amount of returns you're doing?
it is, absolutely. Yeah, well, I don't, when I was doing it, I was not. It's not like something that I was doing every day. It's not something that you need to do every day. But I would also, I think the most I've done it on my buyer account, or the buyer account I use for that, I would say was like 4 or 5 times across a 2-year period. Outside of that period, though, I'm like a power buyer, and I don't return anything. So it's metrics that they use to determine that. And the other part of it is what'll get you suspended quicker, and this is why they don't take any of your products, is what some people will do is they'll order expensive stuff, and they will swap the product out with some $1 thing and send it in. So yeah, Amazon hits you, and you lose money on that. But Amazon does keep track of that from the buyer's side. And you only get to pull that off so many times. Like, you didn't return it, you sent something inferior, they'll just suspend your buyer account for life. However, you're allowed to have 5 buyer accounts in the same household, and you can open up 4 more with the same household and the same billing address, and they'll let you do it. So it's kind of weird. All right. Thank you for sending that listing too, by the way, on the stream. Once we get through these Blackhat tactics, if you're sticking around to the end, or if not, I'll do it and it'll be on the recording. We'll do a breakdown of it. Tom has it. He, I guess, took a look and says you definitely need an audit, so I am in agreement with him. And he sent it to me on WhatsApp, so I'll pop it open and we'll do it at the end. All right. Everybody got, we call that torpedoes, by the way. You can call it whatever you want. We call it torpedoing the competitor. This next one is the thing that I am most scared of on Amazon as far as a black hat tactic. And every time I'm going to show you how or where to go to get the best defense from this. But every time I go to a new Amazon event that is in the black hat realm, I won't point out the people who do it, somebody gets up and basically shows a way to get around it. So I'm going to say that there is no way to fully prevent yourself from doing this, but there is a way to prevent most people from being able to hurt you. So we call this Trojan horse. And what this is a lot of sellers believe that if they have brand registry, that means nobody can change anything on their listing. And they're wrong. They're just could not be further from the truth. There's certain things that you have on your listing that are much harder to change than others, but there is nothing that's impossible. I'm going to give you, there's so many variations of this that we don't have enough time in the day to go over all of them, but I'm just going to give you the really, really basic one. And that is, even with brand registry, you're considered to have an authority on your listing. Like, that's what it gives you. But the authority can change, and the authority has a lot to do with contributions to the listing. So when you go to the back end of your listing and you fill in the information, you probably skip a lot of fields because you're like, that's not relevant to me, and I don't like the options they're giving, right? And you leave it, and everything's fine with you, right? The problem is if that field doesn't have information, other people can supply that information, right? And again, there's a lot of variations of this, but the more I fill in, the more my credibility on your listing builds to the point where I can reach the level of being able to hijack. If I am using a flat file, or I am very good with flat files, which I have team members that are like best thing since peanut butter with flat files, is there's more on the back end that you can add to your listing than you see when you go in to manually do it. So if you have not filled in, well, it's and/or, even if you did fill in everything that you see, there are so many empty fields that people can contribute to that you're not seeing unless you go in with a flat. And even if you have them, even if you get the file, there's things you can open on your file that you're not normally seeing when you're looking at your flat file. So anyone that knows how to do that, which anybody that's into Blackhat stuff does, all they do is they fill that stuff on the back end. Two big threats, we call it a Trojan horse. So they sneak in to your listing. I don't know if that makes sense, call it what you want, but they sneak into your listing. There's two big problems here. One, if they gain authority on your listing, they can change anything on the listing, including the main image. There were some popular ones going on that showed like an emoji and the emoji flicking somebody off. Imagine you try to submit that image on your own listing and Amazon won't approve it. But they could submit nudity, they could submit anti-Semitic stuff, they could submit an emoji flicking off everybody. They do some really bad stuff. Now, if you're a just starting brand that no one's heard of, it's not doing any real brand damage. But for bigger brands, that's bad. The other major problem here is, and this is the one that happens most often, and this is the one that scares me, is they're not even that creative. They just start dropping words like cocaine, heroin, amphetamines. They just start dropping these random words in the back end, and they let Amazon's bot do the dirty work. And that's to go in and just slam your listing. And then you start getting Amazon. They'll add in some other keywords too, which are even worse technically than the very common known drugs. And the reason is because some of those other ones trigger things like asking for a certification. Like imagine if you have imagine if you got this helmet and I put some keywords on the back end that I know trigger the bot to ask for FDA approval. You know what the back and forth is going to be like? How long that's going to take between you and Amazon for you to get out? And first of all, you have no idea why they're asking this. You're just you're going Tom, like you're going scorched earth, and like you're getting the FTC involved. I mean, you're just mad, right? This is stupid. No, we have no idea why. It is stupid. But on Amazon's eyes, you have gone into the back end of your listing, and you have said that you need FDA approval. It's that crazy. So the people you talk to on Amazon, they don't know what's going on, and that's most cases because you don't know if that's in the back of your listing. You're not doing anything to discover that, right? Or to try to prevent that. And next thing you know, your downtime is 3 to 4 months. You may just quit, like that's one of the most scary for me because I know that you're talking. Even if you have an Amazon rep, you're talking to someone who's not able to talk to the person that needs to make the decision, and it's super frustrating to do, and it's very easy to do. The person that I know, and I think he sells this for like $35 to $50, but now that his software has like really exploded, maybe he'll do it for free, or if you're a subscriber to the software. But the person I know that has access, Tom knows what I'm about to say, the person that I know who has access, and by the way, who I've heard more of some of what I'm talking about here than anybody I know, but let's clap when Carmen comes in to make it awkward. Sellerize is Dima Kubrak. I think it's like $35 to $50, but what they have and people that he knows is they have this like flat file jammer, and it's basically it'll be for your niche, and it will go in and this is my words. It will plug all of the empty fields that can be contributed to. Again, every time I go to a conference, there's someone else that knows how to like get around that, but it's the people that know how to do that, they're really not looking at your brand. They're looking at other stuff. So this eliminates as much as possible there. At the end of the day, you have smart people with a lot of money at stake and they're super creative, they're gonna get around it. All you can do is try to prevent most people from being able to do something like that. You with me on that?
What's it called?
It's Sellerize. Yeah, it's Sellerize, and it's not something that Sellerize offers. It's Dima, and some people that Dima knows that I don't even remember the name of it, but if you reach out to him and just say you're at Wizards of Ecom, you're talking to Carlos, and Carlos mentioned something from one of his events in Texas about jamming the back end fields of my listing, he'll know. Yeah. I don't know if the price has gone up,
Okay.
but it's probably worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah. One of the other ways to get around that is the people that deploy this black hat strategy, they go after certain categories. And if you're in a certain category that's like not with massive volume that it really makes it worth it to them, you're usually pretty safe. I don't have one of those plug fields, or for lack of a better description, because the categories that I've played in don't have those kind of people in them. So my defense has been stay away from categories that are like that. Tom?
Rio says if you sit on the left chair, the chat won't overlay over you. For those of us watching on TV, it's currently blocking you completely.
The what is? The chat?
I guess the chat blocks over what he's looking at. Maybe he's looking on a mobile, and so because you're sitting there, the chat overlays on it. So he's asking if you can scoot over behind the stormtrooper mask. You'll probably be able to be seen a little better.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback.
I like another camera.
Look at that face. Look at that. It's a delayed reaction here, so I get to see his face like, what?
All right.
There we go.
Feels a little different.
So Carlos, can you mention like what's the dangerous category?
Supplements, electronics, baby. I'm gonna say certain categories in toys, maybe like STEM. What's the other one? Montessori. Anything in what do you're isn't that some of your stomping ground? Yeah. STEM, Montessori, like all that stuff. Like that's where the biggest amounts of money are at. Coffee. I don't think tea. Yeah. Supplements is the main one. Yeah.
Supplements, they throw in the word battery
Yeah.
operated.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Lithium infused protein powder. I mean, something is. There's no end in supplements. Make your muscles glow.
Hazard. Human hazard.
It's bad.
Hazard.
It's the category. I have a ton of experience in Amazon, and it is the category that I want nothing to do with. Yeah, put it like that. And it's the one that has both growth potentials. You'd think after a certain point it'd be like that's where I would be, but no. No. And no regrets, by the way. All right, so we did torpedoes, Trojan horse. My next one's hug of death. This one is actually very effective, and it can do a lot of damage in your listing. I'm seeing it happen a lot lately when people are doing launches. All right, so what you're doing a product launch. There's two phases to the damage that this is going to cause. One is Amazon is going to say your product is forever banned from receiving reviews. Right? So this is like selling on Amazon with no FBA, right? The other one is account shutdown. Right? So I think it's a coin toss which one Amazon picks. But what Hug of Death does is, what should you avoid with reviews when you're launching a product?
Negative reviews.
Yeah.
Right, but what
Too
should...
many reviews at the same time.
Too many reviews at the same time. So if you go out there and you get too many reviews for your product, what happens?
Something's going on. Yeah.
Amazon knows something's going on.
Yeah.
They quickly give you some warnings. Like, hey, stop or else, right? The thing is, it's one of the easiest things to do is to get people to buy your product and leave a review. And it's easy for your competitor to get people to buy your product and leave a review, a 5-star review. And they will bombard your listing with 5-star reviews. So what's gonna happen is, you're either gonna get shut down, and you're gonna have to work your way out of it, or during your critical launch, right, your listing that you've sent, maybe you even went like AWD to FB, all your inventory is tied up into this thing, and now Amazon says you can't receive reviews anymore. Like, because that's what happens at a certain point. Your product just can't receive reviews anymore. It's damaging. This is one of the ones that I do not know of a defense for. I have seen most people who this happened to get out of the position, and they were later on allowed to receive reviews. They needed to hire Chris. It was not an easy one to do. I mean, review manipulation in Amazon's eyes is like pretty high up on the things that they don't tolerate. Chris is really effective with that stuff, Ecom Chris. But no one wants to be in the position where they just launched a product or smacked where they can't receive reviews, may have gotten suspended, and instead of like quickly getting their money back and deploying their plans and the influencers they got lined up, instead working with Chris to try to get unsuspended for something like, you know what I mean? It's bad. The only thing I could think of, if I were you, to defend against this, and I don't know that you need to do it, is just get on good terms with Chris. Because if someone decides to do this to you, there's nothing you can do, right? I would say something else. If you launch a product and you're thinking, I just enrolled my product in Vine. I have some people that I'm gonna get to leave, like, I got a few of you that I reached out to. Carmen's gonna review my product, you're gonna review my product. But on day 2, or a few days in, you receive like 5 reviews, shut it down. Like, no, it's so hard to make that decision when it's your product and it's theirs. You're like, well, maybe just people love my product, and it's why I did so much in the branding. The only defense I could see is you shut it down and you contact Amazon so that maybe you can point to later on and say, hey, look, like, this is a concern of mine. I don't think that we've sold 5 units. We got 5 reviews. That we're not doing anything, but we're concerned about this happening. Yeah, you with me on that? Any other questions? Anything from the stream?
You mean you want to talk to Amazon before they do something?
No, there's nothing you could do before. You can't say, hey, Amazon, by the way, if you don't, I don't think, just in case I get a whole bunch of reviews, it's not me. That's not gonna work. But it's kind of like if you're in a POA situation where you need to get your account back because Amazon's right, Amazon suspended it. Like Chris said, saying that there's actions you're thinking about taking and having taken those actions are different. So Tom and I were talking about a situation a while back, and it was like an issue with some product, and it was like, okay, it's possible. Can I say that, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible that this product could get suspended, right? And it could have a ramification on the account. If we think that's a possibility and we're not willing to tolerate that, one thing is saying, oh, we saw the problem happen and we thought it was only a small amount of inventory, so we let it ride. The other one is, as soon as we realized it on this date, we shut it down and we did a recall of the inventory to fix the problem. Like we're showing Amazon, we were proactive in this. We didn't wait until we got suspended. So in that sense, if you notice that you get a spike in reviews, you could shut the listing down and contact Amazon before it's brought to your attention, or you could wait. I think most people wait, right? You with me on that?
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing you can do. You can be proactive with Amazon once you see, this is out of the ordinary. I think I'm being targeted here. If somebody's ordering a 30-day protein supplement from you, 5 people bought and they all left a review on the first day, do you think they saw muscle gain on day 1? Right? Probably not. Unless they have my DNA. This one a lot of you have heard about, and it's very common, but I think there's a lot to still talk about with it, and it's counterfeits, right? It's just counterfeits. There's a lot of different flavors of this, but one of them is you sell a product, somebody, maybe the same factory or a factory that makes better quality, usually inferior quality, has decided to sell of what appears to be your product on Amazon, on your listing or not, by the way, but it's usually on your listing. So the most damaging variation of this is they list it against your listing and they choose the fulfillment method of merchant fulfilled. And they choose the delivery time of like 2 months. And this is why this is damaging. If you have, I'm selling this, well, there's more here. If I'm selling these, and I have them in FBA, and now Carmen, in her evil little Chinese factory over in China, is selling these, regardless of the quality. She lists it against my ASIN, but she's selling it merchant fulfilled. If she was selling FBA, I buy it, and I do a test buy. And I report it through Amazon, through my brand registry. Pretty straightforward. But if it's merchant fulfilled, and she's saying that she'll deliver it in 2 months, I'm selling this thing for $180, she's selling it for $15, and you're like, I'll wait 2 months to save the $165. Not to mention she's taking the buy box, so my ads have been interrupted. I have to wait. I can't report like that this is a fake item yet. I can't do the test buy until I receive her product. So she's sitting on the listing for 2 months, right? While I'm waiting to receive the product, and at the end, she could cancel the order, right? So I never received the product to be able to do this. So that, to me, that's the most damaging variation of counterfeiting a listing, and it's very common. There's one solution for that that just gets around all of it, and I don't know why every brand is not doing this, but it's transparency. Enroll in transparency, right? In the transparency program. If you're doing brand accelerator, you can't get it. Your trademark needs to be fully registered for you to do transparency, but do transparency. Like, this happens to you once, it could cost you your business. Yeah.
What's the increased cost of doing transparency?
Cents. Depends on the volume that you're getting, but it could be,
Cents per unit?
I've seen 2.5 cents, I've seen 7 cents. Depends on the label structure that you get, depend who's printing it, the company you use, the volume. Like, there's a lot of, anybody here using transparency, by the way? No. Man, use transparency. It's one of those things you're like, I'm not gonna deal with it, it's not gonna happen to me. It happens to you once, it could put you out of business. Yep.
Question from Rio. Curious to know specifically how the person, quote, family, who opens the new seller account should be set up on the LLC. What percentage, oh wait, hold on. Let me back up. Rio, can we quickly go over setting up proxy seller accounts where an account gets taken down, but you open up another using a relative's information and a new LLC to avoid tax implications for the family? Curious to know specifically how the person, quote, family, who opens the new seller account should be set up on the LLC, what percentage of ownership they need to have, and how to pay them for being a proxy.
Okay. I don't want to assume anything here, and to each their own, but it sounds like your question is coming from more of the how do I deploy black hat strategies, or maybe you got suspended and you tried your best and Amazon incorrectly suspended you and you're just trying to stay in the game and you want to open more. I would say, first, if I'm just going to assume it was the latter and that your business model is not. Otherwise, if your business model is just you're going to do a bunch of shady stuff and you want to know how to keep opening accounts, I know how to keep opening accounts, but I'm not trying to turn this group into a way to I'm not trying to teach that. So I'm going to assume from the question that it's instead you got shut down, whether it was a mistake, didn't know the rules, like a bunch of us have touched the Amazon fire before, got suspended, and now you want to set one up. So you're fortunate enough to have a family member who wants to support the business. They're going to open the LLC under their name so that they can pass verification, and you could start selling on the business again. You know enough about Amazon to know you're going to make money, so you're concerned about the tax implications of your parent who's now on the business. I'm not just passing the buck here, but for that sort of thing, we've always just gone to, and I have had a family member that has opened an account for me before because I got a whole bunch of suspensions when I first started selling on Amazon, and there was no POAs and there was no other way to get back. So I did go that route, and I needed to get a bank account open under that person's name and all that stuff. What we did is we just went to our accountant, which was a CPA, and we explained the situation. And I don't know for sure what they did, but it was just handled that way. I don't know what they did. So I would say talk to your CPA And if you can't finish your sentence and your CPA starts saying it's illegal, your CPA thinks they work for the IRS, and you should fire your CPA.
He said business model is legit, no shady stuff, just incorrect suspensions.
Yeah, suspensions. Okay.
That's not takedown, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't really change the answer I gave. I know there's a delay when the question came in. That would be the same answer. Set it up the way you're thinking, and then talk to your CPA, or talk to if it's your family member that's concerned about the tax implications now, then sit down with your CPA and work that out with them.
If it's a spouse, you should have no problem tax-wise, but if it's another entity, within your family, like another family member, a brother, sister, cousin, something like that, you will have some tax implications that you want to discuss. That,
yeah,
once again,
what I had did one time is the family member was the business owner, and I was like a 45% business owner. We put my information on the business and on the Amazon stuff, and that didn't flag anything. Like, I didn't have the majority owner. We're assuming what happened is, we're assuming Amazon even noticed. And then we're assuming that if they did notice that I wasn't the majority owner, that it was somebody else, and then that person is opening up the Amazon account. So I know people that have been suspended, opened up a different business, changed their router, their modem, all that linking stuff, the phone, the bank, and then just with that business went in and applied for another business with their EIN, went through verification, personal verification, even though they had been suspended, and their account went through fine. It was a different business entity that they had. So, yeah, that's all I really know.
Honestly, what I would do is I would call Chris McCabe, give him your information, see what he can do, let him look underneath the hood. In the meantime, I would take this opportunity to set up a Shopify store and start growing your stuff off of Amazon, because you will eventually want to do that anyway. That's,
yeah.
Because maybe it's 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I don't know if Chris would give you more answers as to how severe this is going to be, and if you truly do need to restructure.
Yeah, I agree. So we covered torpedoes, we covered Trojan horse, we covered hug of death, we covered counterfeit from competitors, and then counterfeit from competitors was one thing. Another layer of counterfeit from competitors was delayed shipping from China to avoid test buys. And then we have counterfeit claims on your own listing. This one's rising a lot. And it's a very easy one. I'm actually surprised that Amazon is acting on this one as much as they are, but what it is you're basically just getting a group of people, because it needs to be multiple orders, like 10 or 15, to buy a product and then report it counterfeit to Amazon. Mind you, you're the only seller, you're the brand owner, but they're reporting it counterfeit to Amazon, and Amazon's taking action against the seller for item not as described. So I think because the person's not going in and saying, I bought the black ones, I received the red, in that case Amazon would be like, oh, there's a mix in inventory. Instead, they're showing that what they received was these cheapy Spider-Man or some cheapy ones that say really made in China on the side. You know what I mean? Like just something that looked totally different than the product, and it looks like that the brand owner is trying to pawn off a bad batch or some lower quality other products on their own listing. It took me a bit to kind of piece this one together, but people are reporting that they've received counterfeit goods to the brand owner on Amazon, the seller, and Amazon. The seller's coming back and saying, no, that's not what you got. Like, I'm the owner. I didn't send you any counterfeit stuff. I sent you, this is our product. It's legit. But it seems to be working. That Amazon's shutting the listing down. I haven't seen anyone get fully suspended for this, but Amazon is shutting the listing down until they can investigate, and it's taking like 2 to 3 weeks. I think we're going to see a lot of it going into Q4 this year, where people are just reporting your own products as counterfeit. Again, the only thing I think that would possibly help with that is going to be transparency. But even then, they could say it because you're applying the codes to incorrect you know what I mean? But that, that's a relatively new one, but I'm seeing it and it's pretty damaging. Damaging in the sense that it's putting you out, you're losing momentum, you're losing rank, and possibly missing a pretty critical time. Imagine if that was happening to you now. Like if that happened to you right now, this would be your period. Right, it could put you out of business, right? And you've been doing business for a long time. So this is one of those things that you really have to be careful with.
How many people does it take? 10 people, 20, 30?
It depends on the velocity of the listing, is what I'm guessing. I think there's a number that it doesn't matter, but it's also sort of pacing your order defect rate. So if your ODR goes over, what is it, like 1%? If your ODR goes over 1% of these claims, it seems to trigger, or it doesn't matter if it doesn't go near 1%. If you get like 10 to 15 of them, it's just shutting the listing down. Takes about 2 or 3 weeks. You start selling for a few days, and it happens again, and Amazon does it again. So they don't even, it seems like Amazon doesn't even say, well, we just reviewed this. This isn't an issue. But if the 10 to 15 come in again, they do it. Even if the listing is selling like 1,000 units a month.
Wow.
Oh, pretty damaging. Last one that I have for today on some of these Blackhat strategies, as far as like new ones that I think you really need to be concerned about, actually has to do with fake Amazon influencer program disparaging videos. This first got on my radar when some factories, again, not singling out China at all, but it is what it is. That's where a lot of this stuff's manufactured. Started happening when some of these factories or distributors or brands started reaching out asking if I could leave a negative review of my experience on a product. Similar to how somebody reaches out to you in the Amazon influencer program and they're like, hey, we want to do a review of the product. I started getting some people reaching out wanting to get a negative review of the product and willing to pay slightly more. Right? Or they would say, you're going to get the product. Why are you charging us? And I was like, well, you're saying it's a bad product. And they're like, no, 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 it's a good product. Just leave a negative review. So what then I started seeing just with other brands is that most brands don't really know about the Amazon influencer program from the seller side. So when these videos pop up on the bottom, for most brands, that's kind of like, where's that coming from? Oh, I guess it's just reviewers. But some of these videos, if we're going to say as an Amazon influencer that people look at these videos to make a buying decision, then if they're looking at the videos and it's talking bad about the product, then that's also going to impact the buying decision, but for the worse. So what's happening is it's very easy to get a hold of a bunch of Amazon influencers, as you can see. And apparently for $50, they will just leave you a positive review for almost anything. And maybe for $75, they will leave a negative review. So what I'm thinking the best defense here for this is to start treating any time you're launching a product. First of all, just keep an eye on the videos that are showing up on the bottom. Don't just be happy if they're there. Look at what they're saying. Report them if they're doing anything wrong. And when you're launching a product, make sure that you're filling up all of the spots that are possibly able to be filled by Amazon influencer videos with Amazon influencer videos that you might control. Reach out to people on Join Brands, reach out to people here in the Telegram group, whatever the case may be, but get those spots filled, otherwise your competitor could get them filled. All right, any questions on that? No?
Somebody in Join Brands, they have to buy the product, but they leave a review, or that's black. Like as I saw, you could get 10
No, they can't leave a review.
They can't. You can't say, by the way,
No, because you can't receive a free product in exchange for a review anymore, and that's what's happening on Join Brands. You're sending them a free product, even if it's coming out of your FBA inventory.
Okay.
So you can't do that. Any questions? If not, I'm going to open this person's listing that sent it and start breaking it down. No? All right, let me open this back up.
monitor.
All right. All right. Let me get my glasses.
I don't think.
Carlos, Adrian says he knows you from San Diego. That's where he's located, and he met you out there.
Oh, cool. That's the one who sent this listing?
Yes.
So now I need to say nice things about the listing? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see.
Top one is the link. Second one is the link to the Kickstarter.
All right. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, looks like both of them opened up the product, not the Kickstarter. Let me check to see if I did it wrong.
First one's the product, second one's the Kickstarter, I think, no?
Amazon. They're both Amazon. That's fine. I'll search for,
You just go to the listing first.
yeah. All right. Well. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, for starters, like from one to bad, this is really bad. Just kind of gonna talk. I'm gonna talk out loud. So, immediately looking at this, I don't know what it is. I thought it was a tablet or multiple tablets. I don't know if this is packaging that says Brain Cloud behind it. I'm gonna look at this to see what it is.
How did you find that?
This is his listing.
Sí, con that.
Is this
The
are
book
these
was-
shortcut keys?
Looks like it.
I like the idea, but I've only, if it's shortcut keys, I almost like shortcut keys better for like a mouse pad or like the tabletop. And I guess I didn't even, but it's Brain Cloud's ultimate bookmarks and posters for AWS. So let's just start up top. So I'm gonna start from the top and just go down. So first of all, this is your canonical URL. I don't like it. So it's one of those things, once you set, it's very difficult in my opinion to like fully change over. I'll just double check, but you have Brain Cloud's ultimate bookmarks and posters. Short of posters and bookmarks, I don't really think you got anything there. I'll just double check over here to see if it's, yeah, so what you have there is accurately showing in the background, and I don't like it. So all that's really saying is it's one of the easy ones that you could get in when you first create a listing. Just create it with the keywords you want and nothing else. Submit it, let the canonical URL register, and all that really means is that link that you share out for now on, if anytime you share the link and somebody buys it, those are the actual keywords that you're gonna get juice for, since nobody searched for it. So it's an easy way just to seed it with some good keywords. I'm gonna go top to bottom for me is images, then title. I have no idea what this is, even with the title and the images. So I don't even know how to give feedback on the images as to what's better. Let me try to take a, does anyone know what this is? Or can he chime in?
He said it is training material to learn the products for sale from Amazon Web Services, AWS.
And who uses this? Somebody from Amazon Web Services?
So I'm asking who is that?
Yeah, well, he could hear me too, but like, is this something that like somebody who's took this training, puts on their desk so that they can reference? Is this something that you are teaching a class about AWS and you want to pass these out to people who come in, or anybody that's teaching a class or a meetup? I know they have some big AWS meetups, but I mean, in this, so quality of image, not good. This is a lot of reflection right here coming off the plastic. This reminds me of a picture of what you'd normally see coming from a factory who just wants to show you, hey, I do know how to make these things. Not even like what they would present out there, but they just snapped a picture to show you, yeah, this is what you're looking for, we do it. Not anything of quality. So all this is, all this needs to be redone. This isn't even, well, yeah, I guess you can do this. But there's no contrast between this background color and the color of these, so they don't really pop.
So this is, his target audience is cloud computing professionals in sales and training, so cloud software architects, which would probably be what you'd want to start thinking about putting in your title.
Yep.
That's actually a better main image than the first image.
Yeah, it's bad.
Absolutely.
It's bad, but yeah.
But it's better.
The image with the stand is probably what you probably want to.
Yeah, but then it gets, is there a stand? Like you see this, and does it come with a stand?
Yeah, there's different color stands also.
I would do this a different way personally. I would turn this in, if you even needed to show all this, which I think you do at some point, I would probably do this in like quadrants. So I would try to grab quadrants of this and magnify them to where I could look at one screen, because I don't see what, I even have my glasses on right now, and I still don't. I mean, I think that's AWS partnerships. So unless the person knows what all this is, I don't think they can see it. It's broken up.
One of the things, I think there's a lot of colors there, and a lot of the replicated colors there too. And I don't know if that's intentional for a software architect. I don't know what that is typically supposed to be. But maybe fewer colors or different colors.
Yeah, and are
There's
these
a lot of the same colors?
Yeah, and are these stickers, or is this a plaque? Well, so images need to be redone so that it is higher quality, communicates what it is, and that's it.
No, bullet points, reviews.
No, well, on the main images, that's it. Like, I think if you hit those two things with the main images, I think you're going to be good. I don't think you're going to need a lot here as far as call-outs, annotations, text overlays, or anything like that. I don't know how this would be used by a person. It seems like it would be here, so I guess this could be close. If this is like supposed to sit on somebody's desk, I would show somebody with them sitting on their desk for lifestyle. There's so much information here though, like normally I would say like, where are your arrows? Like, where are your infographics and all this, but I don't know. This looks like an overload of infographics to me. So yeah.
So lifestyle images maybe in there as well. A video explaining what it does. He did make a comment saying, I worry about people copying the images and printing at home.
Well, you just got to copyright. Like, yeah. Well, you know what? Like,
Printed posters are in a magnetic frame with a plastic cover for shipping.
Yeah. See, that's not communicated. I don't know if you intentionally voided the word magnet in the listing for other reasons, but where's the magnet? Like, where's the, so again, higher quality images, and the images need to do a better job communicating what it is, where it's used, and all that. Like, whatever that turns out to be, that's what it would be. As far as, like, I'm talking to a lot of people lately because I'm going to launch a course probably late next week. And by launch, I just mean release it, because it's going to be a very affordable thing for people in the group. But I'm talking to a lot of people, and it seems to be in the course world, most people are concerned about people stealing it and like downloading it and pirating it and stuff like that. But they seem to be people that are newer to courses that have that concern. When I'm talking to the other people that like their livelihood is courses, they just know that some people are going to do that and there's no way around it, but it's just a very small percentage of people that do. So if you have people coming to your listing and they're copying your image and they're somehow able to get that and copy it from your image, I think you're doing something right, and you just need to double down on that. And it's just going to be a tiny percentage of people that do. And some of those people that do are probably going to go back because they want to get the other things of your listing that they, if they think the thing that you have is of high enough quality, they're probably going to go back to your listing because it assumes that everything else that goes with this thing is also of high enough quality. so that I should go with it. The other one is, are you allowed to use AWS in the title? Amazon's pretty strict on that, using their stuff, especially on Amazon. And AWS.
Compatible with AWS?
Yeah.
With AWS?
It says 4, Poster's 4, but I think that's, I don't
That's a
think
strong
that's-
statement.
Yeah, that's, I don't think that works. Like, I think you need more there, like, to communicate
Four.
that this is not AWS. Generic, you know, your brand is generic, you don't have brand registry. I think this listing is like the poster child for needing A+ content to express what all this stuff is. This is a lot of information. And I'm assuming you don't have it because you're generic, yeah.
So I think also that if he was gonna do this as bookmarks and magnetic posters, that you separate those listings, or at least you create a variational listing for it.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, I don't know how the product works, but that's not a bad idea. I don't know, where's the mic? Tom suggested you have bookmarks and posters, maybe you have a bookmarks listing and a posters listing, or some variation or combination of them both on the listing. I think unless you can communicate it amazingly here, it's overwhelming. The title, I've not done the keyword research, but just looking at this, I'm assuming from your pictures that your brand name is BrainCloud. I mean, your brand is generic right now, so you don't even have to put BrainCloud in the front.
Is that something Amazon does?
Generic.
Because I've seen a few listings with brand generic, so.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're not brand
That's Amazon.
registered,
Yeah, if you're not
that's
brand-
what
yeah.
they- that is
Right.
yours.
Yeah, I would not buy from one that says generic. It would just be automatic skip for me.
No, I do.
You bought from some generic?
Depending on the product, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it does depend on the product,
Yeah.
but you want to get brand registered, whoever this is. You put BrainCloud here, which is ironic, because most people with brand registry are trying to figure out hacks to not have their brand name show up in the front of their listing. You don't have brand registry, and you took the time to put it out there, so I don't know what to say about that.
Carlos, if you go to the WhatsApp that I just sent you another link that I think should go right to the, to his, Kickstarter. Maybe that'll explain a little bit more as to what is there, so try that one, maybe that'll help.
Cloud flashcards by BrainCloud. Could say professionals and students. So you're targeting students and pros featuring educational
that's pretty
content
cool.
customized by experts. I suspect this is a learning deck. You see, look, this communicates a
better
lot
picture.
better than anything
Yeah.
I saw on the Amazon. Fold and write cloud flashcards for AWS. I'm not clear from this, is it for somebody studying to learn AWS or like to become certified? I buy these kind of cards for like different things, for like story building and podcast episode stuff. Like there's a lot of, I like these sort of like
I'm
flashcard
impressed. I'm
decks.
impressed with 7 people. He raised 11 grand. 7
You go down,
backers.
there's a couple of videos, there's, you know, so there's a more of an explainer. It looks like if you go down one more, there's another video that, I like that intro, it's pretty cool.
I don't know if this is gonna give feedback.
What are BrainCloud flashcards?
BrainCloud flashcards help you learn and collaborate. Collaboration is how the best.
Adrian, right? His name was Adrian?
The teams that work well in the cloud.
Okay, so that's Adrian. Unless he got an actor and he's calling the actor Adrian.
I mean, the video should be on the listing too, but are you allowed to put a video on the listing if you don't have the brand registry?
No. Well, that's another reason why.
Scroll down a little bit, one more, I think, just a little bit longer, down. Right, there's something there about,
The magnetic part. Probably.
Demonstration in
In
Portuguese.
Wow.
or Portuguese, okay, I don't know, there was just a, they had a refrigerator, so I don't know if that was for magnets on a refrigerator.
Look, BrainCloud flashcards, Jamaican. Is it in Jamaican? I didn't know that was a thing. Thought Jamaican was like, was it patois, like
An
broken
accent.
English, right?
How is it powered by AWS? That's interesting.
A company is powered, well,
The
technically if
company.
anybody's business is on the cloud, it's technically powered, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, I don't know anything about it, so. We were working closely with a printing company. 300 300 Terrat-sized cards and a box for storage. So I don't know if what's here is what's selling on Amazon,
No, it seems
but
like it's a different
that almost
product.
seems like something that needs to go in your title. Like, that it has 300 Terrat-sized cards and a box for storage. I would also communicate that visually somewhere in your photos. Don't put shipping delays. Ships anywhere in the world.
But it's a different product, this one.
I
Compared to the
think
listing.
I think it's a different product. I don't see any of the other like stuff.
Not even the same picture.
When was this? Oh, this is like right now. Like he pulled this.
If you go to braincloud.com, that's his website.
Buy dot.
No, buy, and then braincloud.com. BY, braincloud.com. That's him.
Yeah.
I like up top is that stem. The stem cards might be interesting.
STEM counseling.
Yeah, I would say whoever did the site needs to. Well, actually, no. No, it looks like whoever did the site also did Amazon. So no, don't do that. Yeah. Oh.
Got a lot of platforms up there on the left.
Yeah. Man, it looks like it has potential. I don't know a great deal about the product. I could definitely say,
Thanks for sharing though, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
this won't work. I would say before even going out to get a product photographer would be just kind of working on like the layout of what this thing wants to be. Otherwise, you're gonna get a product photographer and they're really not gonna know how to lay this thing out because they don't understand the product. But it looks like your Kickstarter, like that's a good layout of cards to me, in my opinion. It clearly says that they're cards. Maybe put like the most popular card on the top. Maybe put the most popular card on the top. Congrats on pulling this off. It says group flashcards for AWS compiles information from multiple sources. The copy here on the Kickstarter is good. I just suspect that the copy, the person who did the copy there didn't do the copy here, has one bullet, which is pretty much almost word for word what's in the title. Is there a description? Yeah. Can't use these kind of descriptions anymore, like these big blocks of text.
I'm surprised he put down an URL from Amazon.
Did he?
The end one.
And it went through.
Yeah.
Probably an AWS hack. Is this yours? It is yours. Adrian Drummond.
Yeah, same.
You got a book. The plot thickens. Is it an ebook? Kindle? Is there a paperback version?
It's so funny how we.
Paperback, yeah.
Scoop everything like that. Kickstarter, once we flip.
Yeah.
Start like-
I see where you're getting this branding anymore. Anyhow, we can keep going. The big moves are complete overhaul of the listing. Your bullets are non-existent. Your description, this kind of like wall of text doesn't work anymore. Kudos for trying to break it up with emojis, but people just don't, people aren't gonna read that. Like nowadays they look at it and it was like, if it was important, they would have broke it out so it would have been easier on my eyes. That's why A+ exists. I would, this listing could really benefit from A+, but you're gonna need to have brand registry and total overhaul on copy. Happy to help with that. And total overhaul on the images, but I think the first step is gonna be you laying out how everything should be positioned before going to a product photographer and getting it done. So hope that helped. Keep reaching out too, by the way, and glad we had a chance to meet in person. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Any questions?
I mean, really, kudos, thanks for sharing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sellers that won't share, so thanks for sharing.
Yeah, let me cut the stream here. There we go. All right, remember, so next Saturday, we don't have a meetup here. Some of us are gonna be at Mundo Amazon in the James L. Knight Center. Alexis and I are speaking on Saturday. I don't know if I'm gonna be there Sunday, but I'll be there Saturday. And the following weekend is Memorial Day. So we don't have a meetup here on Saturday. So we're not gonna be here until 3 Saturdays from now, okay? You're welcome to come back during the week and hang out as always. I know some of you have been coming by during the week and working out of here. Just a reminder that that's open. And also a reminder that probably sometime in August or very early September we'll be moving. I am trying to pull the move off without missing any meetups. Worst case scenario, I think maybe the way I'm trying to structure it now is we have one meetup, maybe not here on a Saturday. It's possible. It's really just going to depend on how quickly we can get a bare minimum set up in the new location before having the meetup. But maybe that one Saturday we do like a pub meetup or something. But should be uninterrupted. But it'll be like Doral, so it'll be like Northwest 25th and the Palmetto. So for everyone except me and who lives in this area, it should be significantly closer to you. Not to mention, there's a lot of people in Doral that don't want to make a drive even this far, so I expect that the group's going to really grow just based on us being in the worst geographically located spot in Miami, where we've been for 10 years. So,
And bigger.
yeah,
And bigger.
it'll be much bigger. Yeah, yeah. This is 1,600 square feet, and we're going to be at like 6,500 square feet. So it's going to be a lot bigger and a lot more things that we're going to be doing. So. Thank you guys so much. I'm happy you guys came out on Mother's Day weekend, by the way. We haven't done a Mother's Day weekend thing in forever, so thank you.
Next meetup, it's gonna be on June 1st.
June 1st. Yeah, it'll be June 1st.
So, Carlos told me at the beginning of the week.
Oh,
Got approved on the insurance program. So I immediately texted you and I go, send me do your video as well. Send me the video of your Ecom thing, but you need to get it in right away. Before he told me that, I had said that maybe there was a hack to the Amazon Live video. Did you get the followers? Well, let's not do the Amazon Live video. These people are getting approved. A friend of mine named James, just starting the videos and everything else. Put up 3 videos. Two of them got approved. The third one, they said, you sent people eligible. So all they have to do is take out that other dinner and people are getting approved. So I'm saying, get your videos up.
Sure, just do it on the table and I'll go by and look.
What are you waiting for? This is like the window is open. Like someone left the window open. But I said live video first, and then I said after I go apply right away. Yeah, I sent you, of course. This is the Diet Coke. I've had this for 6 months.